Bend over and Terralingus.
Did you hear Tara call? Terralingus?
Yeah, I heard you guys make that joke.
She called on the Andrews show last week too.
Is Tara a Pantera fan?
Didn't ask her. Should have. Hi, I'm Tara. Terralingus.
Back.
Hi, I'm Tara. Terralinguist.
Should make an AI like virtual companion named that.
There was something I was going to do with AI today, but I didn't have time. And I forgot what it was. It was going to be a companion doll. But the companion doll was going to be loaded with clips of Peter. And there's going to be another companion doll loaded with clips of Dave.
That's funny.
Oh, I think
Someone's here, sounds like.
Yeah, I think
Checo might be getting in that ass.
Checo, but it's not supposed to be outside.
Yeah, he's not as friendly as Roxy.
Dong, da dong, dong, dong. What's the picture of? Oh, it's a video. This is a video of.
What up, man?
What up,
Hey,
sir?
greetings.
Come on in.
Yeah, I was going to tell you about that.
Yeah,
You got
I
an
noticed that
issue
too.
out there.
I heard that happened when I was gone and forgot about it.
Is it Checo?
Yeah, you can just pull it too. Yeah.
Checo bash it?
No,
Or someone dipshit kick it?
someone has more strength than they knew they had.
Eminem?
How you doing, sir?
Eminem?
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
What's up, man?
Yeah, Matt Thomas, and this is Matt Stubbs.
What's up, man? How are you, sir? Good to see you, man.
You gonna sit there?
Doctor?
All right.
Doctor?
Yeah, everything's lined up good. So you'll just have to change it back.
Yeah. Let me get on the two-shot.
Is there somebody else coming in?
No.
No, that's just this camera is the one that I activated for you. If you'd rather sit over there, that's fine.
Doesn't matter to me, man. Wherever you want me to be.
Which one do you have activated?
Uh,
That one?
Actually, no, it is that one. I was wrong.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. You can just throw that chair out of the way and whatever. And we're playing with new mic arms tonight. It's the first time with new mic arms. Yeah. Little low profile.
Not all up in your face.
Not all in your face.
Yeah,
We can actually communicate with each other. You have to fix his camera.
talking about that the other day. Yeah, sorry, I'm huge.
All right, let's see here. Let's see. Where are you at? You should be. Test your mic.
Check.
1, 2. Hey. 1, 2. Hey. 1, 2. 2. Hey.
There we go.
1, 2.
Good deal.
Hey.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Yup.
which control is yours.
Yo.
Your headphones work?
There we go. Yep. Got it.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right.
Oh, man.
Y'all ready to start this up?
Yeah.
I'm
All
ready.
right. Let's just get it going.
Let me make sure.
You gonna put the chat up there?
Oh, yeah. I knew I was missing something.
That's what I can't see. You made it all big screen.
Pop it out. Pop out chat.
All right, let's start this thing up while he's doing that. Let's go.
Which podcasts are you listening to?
Yes.
Oh, my
great
God.
Jerry
Yes, Jerry.
Jonestown Massacre.
Which accounts are you subscribing to?
You guys went to the fucking computer radio show? What the
Yeah.
fuck? Nobody fucking listens to the computer radio.
I'm interested, like genuinely.
Fuck Tuesday. Fuck this podcast.
This episode of the J. Jones Massacre is brought to you by
Geist Note.
and
Victor Wrench.
and Plastic Object.
The Jerry Jonestown Massacre contains graphic material, including offensive language, partial nudity, and completely ridiculous thoughts and opinions that shouldn't be expressed or shared by anyone. Listener discretion is advised.
And now coming at you from the Temple of I, just on the outskirts of where the West begins.
It's the Jerry Jonestown Massacre!
So much doom.
I feel like I just got killed. Is that what it's like?
Exactly. You enter Valhalla. Show number 625.
Yes.
It is Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. Happy Tuesday, Matt.
Happy Tuesday, Dustin.
Happy Tuesday, Matt.
Happy Tuesday.
And happy Tuesday to our guest.
Hello.
Hey, Justin, how's it going?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
We
All the
are,
way around.
we are back in the temple after a month. It feels like
Almost.
3 weeks.
I thought we were only out 2 weeks. Oh, but I'm counting the road show. I only got 1 week off, basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but we weren't in the temple.
Yeah, because we had to go on the Meshuggah sabbatical.
The
Week.
concert week, which I'm still haven't finished editing because I got busy. And then
I think that's all we do these days is edit.
I feel like that's all
If
we
it's
do. is
audio,
edit.
if it's pictures, if it's video, it's like a you're just every single day in a non-stopping loop of editing.
If you've paid attention to our the last couple of weeks, well, last week it was like a 3-part show. We had part 1 was on Fort Worth Roots, part 2 was ours, and part 3 was Fort Worth Famous. But Andrew has been spitting out from Fort Worth Roots all these videos of the trip and everything that he's
I
quickly
saw that.
thrown together, made all these reels out of.
You know what you need to do is hit him with the cease and desist.
Well, there are a few times in there I didn't know he was recording me, which I do find weird. Like when you are sitting there watching a reel that someone made, you're like, oh, I didn't know you were recording at this time. I would have taken my thumb out of my ass. But
that day,
I had
you
my
weren't wearing
thumb
underwear.
clearly up my ass.
Properly.
Yes.
Okay.
No, he edited all these videos. I'm like, where do you have time to do this? I don't have time to do all that.
AI.
Was he?
It is now, isn't it? Right? Just give them the
100%.
clips.
A lot of them send it overseas,
Opus.
send it overseas too, man. Like they have those assistants now. You can get those personal assistants that are all over in the land of the East.
I think that's
India.
child
believe.
slavery, right? Like you can't have sweatshops.
kids are
and
good at
stuff.
Is it though when it's AI?
He's talking about overseas with
Well,
kids.
that's all. That's all gone now. It's just
Yeah,
robots.
It probably is all robots now. I know pretty much today. You know what I do? I just wake up and ask AI, "Hey, what do I do today?" And it just plans out
Just
my whole
plans
day.
it out for you.
Yeah. It's like, well, you need to get up.
Doesn't know what time you start work.
A
each
healthy
day?
BM.
I've joined this group that is all like every day they give you functional good AI tips to use.
By AI.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably is. But some of the stuff people are doing with AI is absolutely blowing my mind. And things you can, especially now that the engines have gotten even better, it's crazy.
I know. Now, Opus clip works out pretty well, but I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that would argue that. But we used it for a little bit just because it was like, I don't have time to sit here and make 40 videos. Okay, I'm just going to upload the podcast. It'll grab. And then it gives you the decision, like, which one do you want to use? And it'll tell you, like, this part has the best, for getting looked at, or is going to be received the best. And this is going to do well with this genre. And this is going to, you know what I mean? So it just tells you that. You're just like, yeah, man, whatever.
Just do it.
Well,
is the lettering correct that you're spelling out that I'm saying words?
I have like 60 gig right here of drone footage from this little trip we took.
Just put it up on Opus Clip
like,
and see what happens.
I think that's what I'm going to do. It's just like, here,
Is
figure
that
it out.
what is that?
and make it
AI
something
editing?
cool.
Yeah.
And does video too?
It does it all. Like, does video, audio. Like, you want to, like,
Opus?
well, you just make sure it's your audio now. Is like, right?
Yeah.
So it's clear.
Yeah.
Pretty and good to go. And then just take that footage and upload it to it. Even if it's like split 4 ways.
Yeah.
It'll go ahead and cut the screen for you. It doesn't always get it right, but you can adjust the screen to it. So there's a little bit of manual editing, but
nothing too bad.
You're knocking your 2-3 hour workload into like 15-20 minutes.
That's what I love about AI. Period.
That's what I need to do.
The thing is, it keeps you creative because you get to skip over the dumb shit you don't need to use your creative brain for.
Well, the thing that sucks about it is it's going to get down to the part where we just where we just think of like some crazy topics we want to talk about, and then just say, use my voice to talk about these things.
It's already happened.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
We debated on doing that for a few shows to have some time off.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
the app I use
All
to screw up everybody's voice, they've grown up. They've gotten
Dialed it in.
way more crazy. But
Yeah.
you can go in and basically give it a link or a few links on a certain subject matter for a website, and then you tell it, I need it to be 30 minutes long.
Sure.
And it will take your voices and break it down and do a full show out of it.
Bro.
That's
We're
insane.
fucked.
It's so weird.
We're so screwed.
I don't know if I
I
saved
don't even
them.
know
or
why I
not.
was trying to book gigs today.
I mean,
I think that's what's going to take over though is live performances though, because
much like
anybody
vinyl, the resurgence of vinyl,
Right.
the resurgence of live shows will come back.
because anybody can make a perfect track now.
Yes.
Any band can make a
forget
perfect track.
I'm not sure who.
Too
I think it
perfect,
was
almost.
a dude.
Yeah.
It was another artist from
That's
here.
why playing live is going to be so big.
He, God, I want to say it was Joey Green. He was. We were just joking about this, and he showed me a track that he put in, like all the lyrics he wrote, and then he put it into this deal, and he's like, I want to hear it as a punk tune, a metal tune, a country tune, right? And it took his lyrics, chopped it up, and put it to a full band. And you couldn't
tell the difference.
No, like you were like,
Yeah.
what? This. He's like, yeah, it took like 15 minutes. I was
Let's-
like, shut the fuck. What are we gonna do?
Here's a little taste of what that one did. I found the files here.
All right, fellow swine, welcome back to the hog pen. Ree!
What?
Ree!
I'm supposed
Here's
to change
something
the
wild. The guy who went to prison for defrauding
I forgot you did
millions
this.
with a fake luxury festival is now trying to do it again. And the coordinates for his new event literally point to the middle of the ocean.
Oh my goodness, you're talking about Billy McFarland and this supposed fire festival too, right? The audacity is just unbelievable.
How long was this, Dustin?
Exactly right. And
one's
get this,
6
they're
minutes
already
long.
selling tickets for an event that the local...
So it doesn't sound perfect because I'm using
Nobody's gonna know.
our friends' voices.
It sounds a lot better than some of the shows I listen to.
When it comes to reproductive
are out there.
evolution, nature has developed some truly mind-blowing solutions. Did you know there's a species of
There's like
duck
a
with
tone
penis
to it.
longer than its
Yeah,
entire
I know.
body, and snails that shoot hormone-loaded
well, there's life
arrows
to,
at their mates?
to Dave's voice.
Well, that's certainly an
He's not a
attention-grabbing
corpse.
way to start this conversation. And you
Peter's
know what's
voice is a little
fascinating
weird.
about these adaptations?
He's a little amped up on
Each
cocaine.
one
it
tells
sounds
us
like.
something remarkable about survival.
He's taking some
Let me
uppers.
tell you about one of the most surprising
So's Dave.
examples, cats. Their reproductive anatomy features these backward-facing barbs
We're
that
screwed.
actually trigger
You know what you should
ovulation.
do? You should make one pro-Palestine and one
Pro-Israel.
pro-Israel.
Oh my
let them,
God.
Let them
And have them
have
fight each
debate.
other?
Yes.
Oh, hold
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, we're on to something there.
We can do this. We can
Yeah,
have
that would go straight to the.
we turn Peter and Dave into Point, counterpoint.
Yep.
God.
Every single time there's something that needs to be debated that we feel like we should
Yes.
attack.
Yes.
As a podcast show, I think we should leave it up to Dave
them.
and Peter to fight
and,
it out.
And then they go to the pinball machine and
debate
fight.
team. Yeah. if it's a tie, then they have to come in and play Legends pinball.
Yeah.
Just their AI versions, though. So
before we get too far in the show, I know, Stubbs, this is one of the biggest days of your life, one of the most important ones you have flagged because it's an important day in history when Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun got married.
Oh, I thought you were going to say his anniversary. I was going to say, I know that's coming up too.
In a
Is
bunker.
Is it? Wow.
And that also today,
I just heard it.
today was also the day in which you proudly celebrated in 1991 when 6 officers were acquitted of charges in the Rodney
King
King,
which turned into 6 days of
fun
protest and
riots and
riots.
April 26, 1992.
Why even bring it up?
That's the
Why
one
are we
that
bringing
the,
that up? I thought we got rid of that.
Dude, the guy got pulled from his
How did that get
rig,
acquitted?
his rig.
That was
right?
Reginald Denny.
Yeah.
He was just out cold on the ground, blood just
Hit him with a
shooting out of his
brick.
head.
But that is where we
He
have,
lived, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he survived.
We do have one of the greatest things, though. Rooftop Koreans came from that and defended their shops and
Still
businesses
legends.
in South Central with AK-47s on top of their
Legends.
rooftops
Where
of their
is the
buildings.
voice
I
for
didn't
that?
know about that.
Rooftop Koreans. You haven't even heard
Rooftop
that.
Koreans is one of the coolest. The pictures and photos and that is
Sounds
something
like a
that
show,
we can
huh?
all.
Like an
Yeah.
animated series.
Yeah, put
Who
together
knows?
some kind of like patriotic statement and have it read out in Hangul.
It could be a roofing company. You know, like here at Rooftop Koreans.
That's genius.
We really like
That
to
would
take care
be
of your
genius.
hail dents.
Yeah.
That's genius.
God.
We want to make sure you have the best protection when it comes to Texas weather.
Don't worry about that roof.
Yeah.
We're small enough to get on it. We're good.
We've got it taken care of.
Oh man.
If that is celebrating the Second Amendment in any way, Rooftop Koreans,
That's a prime example, man.
prime
They,
example
they
of
showed the world
protecting
that
your
this is
property.
why we
and
have it.
being
This is
like-
why we have it.
As all of South Central LA burns around us, we're protecting our property.
Yeah.
What is it? A
24/7.
warning code at the bottom is like, also, please keep all dogs away from the backyard. That's- all
Lock
right,
up
I'm
your
not going
animals.
there. I'm not going there.
I think you already did.
Yeah, I already did.
Yeah.
I did. Fair enough. We don't need lunch. Got some already. All right.
Nope, don't need any. Anyway, that's the only 2 things that I heard today that I was like, wow, that happened today?
The wedding?
The wedding? Which
When did he die? What was the date that he died?
Wasn't it a
Like,
day later?
Yeah, it was pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or did he die? I mean, CIA documents have come out that said
I
he was
think-
relocated and buried in down South America.
Pretty sure he was the manager of KFC on Roof Snow for a while. The nighttime manager.
No chicken for you.
I would like to think that he probably works at like Long John Silver's because nobody goes there, but it always stays open.
Yeah.
Easy to hide him.
I'm telling you,
It's
man,
got
that thing is a fucking cover up.
Is there
I'm
still a
just-
Long John Silver?
How are you? How are you? Out of all
Yeah.
people, not investigating as to why
I should
Long John
investigate
Silver's
why
is
Long
not.
John Silver's
I think
is
it's
still
somewhere in
around.
the night that fucking thing opens up, shit flies out of it. We just don't see it because the one on New Snow. I never ever in 43 years have I seen one fucking car in that drive-thru.
I think I've ate there
I went there a
before.
couple times.
You know,
Well, good for you
Yeah.
guys. You're
That-
the 2 in existence.
I think there's still a Captain D's in Fort Worth too, isn't there?
What?
I think there's a Captain D's off of 20.
Really?
Still
Yeah.
over there by TCJC or well, what is it called now? TCC.
Yeah.
I think
really?
there was, and then there was one in Grand Prairie too. There's like 2 in DFW.
There was one in
I think.
Burleson when I used to live
Captain
there.
D's was the shit. man.
The Long John Silver's on Roof Snow is like a black spot that I don't see.
that stays open.
Like I don't even like. There's just a void there that I just never even look
To
at.
think that there's a dude that goes in there every day and checks the food and then just realizes that there's just shitloads of it left from the month prior and then throws that out to collect more food for that day to fry up that nobody's going to come eat.
And they get all the
I
crispies.
kind of want to run like a time lapse across the street. Just put one
Takes
on a
him
pole and let it run. Just count how many fucking cars come in.
He's just got a bag of Crispies at the house.
Yeah. When's the last time you had a little bag or box of Crispies?
Malt and
Never.
tartar sauce.
Yeah.
Never.
Malt vinegar. Yeah.
Now I want some hush puppies. Damn it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Justin, go get us some,
some hush puppies.
Hush puppies.
Good man.
You got to dip them in the coleslaw. That's where it's at. You dip the hush puppies in the coleslaw. It's a perfect snack. But
I always did it with
the hush puppies have
ketchup and
been
Tabasco,
dicey.
but I think that's the Mexican in me.
The last 10 years. Oh, that's good too, man. Yeah, or some Cajun sauce.
Ooh,
yeah.
Lord. What's that down the road here? The chicken place.
Dave's.
Cane's.
Oh, Cane's.
Yeah, Cane's.
Dude,
Cane's chicken.
I found out the other
place is
night
good.
in a moment, like I was my wife didn't bring home any sauce. There was no ketchup in the fridge, so I was like,
Uh-oh.
Frank's Red Hot. Why not? Works on chicken wings. So
Yeah.
I doused the
You
shit
could put
in.
Frank's
yeah,
on
and,
anything.
and dude, oh
Just
my
like the
god,
commercial.
something in their chicken batter with Frank's Red Hot.
You know
Lord
what's
have mercy.
delicious is putting Frank's on the chicken fried steaks.
Oh my god.
I learned that from Babes.
That's
and I
amazing.
never stopped.
AC,
have to have it
our
with-
drummer,
with
he
the-
doesn't eat gravy. Do you guys eat gravy?
I eat
Yeah, I love
Okay.
gravy.
His thing
especially
is like
minstrel
I
gravy.
think
he
I'm built out of
he
it.
worked in too many restaurants, so he's like it's the easiest place to hide something.
Oh.
So everywhere we
Okay.
go, you guys ever been down to what's the Rocket Cafe down in Waxahachie?
No.
No.
I thought
haven't.
the
So
talking about the Red Rocket. That's a dog park.
no,
That's not the one
Dude,
that's
I'm just
haunted,
coming
right?
with all kinds of
No,
jokes.
that's only
dude.
on Sundays.
Is that next to Fort Wolf?
I've busted like 3 jokes that have been zingers over here. Y'all are just flying over. Just
So
No, I heard you.
Rocket
did?
Cafe has a gigantic chicken fried steak, and they're known for their chicken fried steak because it's so good.
that's not the haunted place, right?
No, that's the catfish.
The catfish
Yeah.
joint.
Anyway,
Where's our text?
that was the first place I noticed it. He was like, "I don't want
freaking
gravy." I'm
Dave's
like,
Hot
"What?"
Chicken, man. Have you had that?
Yes,
They got a great chicken slider. Like it's
I
got
haven't had that.
bread and
I
pickles.
can't move it up because I
spicy
maximize
chicken
the screen.
sandwiches, man. It's legit.
All right, I'm in.
And also, there's getting to be some pretty decent Hawaiian places around here too now.
I gotta
They
admit,
used to
man,
be
Deadly-
garbage, but now I'm like the last 2 I've had, I've been like, that's pretty spot
now, what
on
are
for
you
good
talking about
stuff.
now? Not like Hawaiian Bros. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I tried that place
The
once.
Hollow in
not all that.
Arlington.
I like
There's
that
Hollow
Hawaiian
in
Bros.
Arlington.
Yeah.
Just as long as they got macaroni salad, I'm saying they're good. They're Hawaiian.
There's
so
a place on by volcanoes.
pretty
in,
good.
Damn,
In
volcanoes.
The
Bedford.
pool hall.
I just got drunk.
Yeah.
Just saying the
Just
name. you're
thinking
like,
the name,
"Ugh."
dude. Oh God.
But a couple moved in there next to it. That's a Hawaiian joint. That's really good.
I'll have
And
to try it.
It's authentic. Like they're
Yeah.
they're Hawaiian and
God
come here.
damn,
And
is
cook
that place even still open?
Volcano?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, where
It
is
is?
it? It's a,
It's, not-
It's still
on,
a pool hall.
Harwood and Norwood. Yeah.
It's been the same
The
like 40
bar
clients
and
going in
everything.
there for fucking.
You can get drunk and then go next door and play that game where you drive the bumper cars around and fling the ball. I forgot what that's called.
Bumper cars and fling the ball.
It's bumper
Could be it.
cars, and then you have,
have a
Bumper ball.
you have a
Like a soccer ball or something you're trying to get.
you have a scooper. You know those
Oh,
scooper
like-
arms with the ball.
Like the
and you
dog.
Yeah,
roll
like-
it.
For a
like
dog?
lacrosse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is that called? Whirly ball.
Whirly ball. Okay.
Yeah, you can go play
yeah.
whirly ball.
So you get shit face of volcanoes and go play whirly.
Go
ball.
play whirly ball, and then you can go to the. It used to be Bikes USA or Bicycles Inc. or whatever.
Okay.
It's
all
now
right.
just a Trek store. Trek took it all over.
I wonder I bet their janitor's pretty busy.
Which one?
The one at Whirly
Trek
Ball.
or whirly ball.
Yeah, that'd be
Getting shit
gross.
faced and then driving around in a car and doing
Oh my
donuts and
God.
throwing
Yeah.
shit.
Well, surely they don't
Someone's
let you.
puked 100 times.
Oh, I'm sure.
Guaranteed.
It probably
Surely
smells
they
like
don't let you
Hurl.
in there.
Yeah.
It's like every bar in Denton smells like Hurl. Did you know that's not actually Hurl though? That's the beer lines that stink like that.
I thought it was the Hurl with the cleanup.
Speaking of
Stuff.
Denton and speaking of AI, did you see the guy that did the post here recently? He got on AI and they had him do a bash on Denton.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And AI
No.
wrote it out.
Yeah.
Did you guys read that?
Mm.
I was like, well,
I didn't see that.
fuck, it's not far off. And some of the shit they said, it's like, I think the opening line was like, oh, Denton, so sad trying to be Austin's little sister.
No.
Oh shit!
I was
Oh,
like,
no.
oh boy,
Austin's little sister.
Austin's little sister with it was like food trucks and 43-year-old men walking around in skinny jeans. It's cool. We get it. It's like, oh man, all right.
Oh.
Well, AI's onto us.
It's like Thailand, the mediocre white guy capital of the world. Is that what they say? Or was that just a White Lotus thing that they dropped in there?
I was wondering if that was a White Lotus reference you were making.
I'm pretty sure that per capita, there's a lot of balding white guys that go there with guts. So with cargo shorts too. So,
But you've never been,
huh?
You've never been
To Thailand?
Yeah.
I plan on going. That's where we retire.
Hey, don't hate on the cargo shorts, bro.
Mm-mm.
No, man.
I haven't lost
It's
on
like,
my hair
man,
yet.
You've
so I
earned
can't
it.
go over there.
If you can wear it, if you wear them, you've earned them.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Black cargo and camo cargos or
That's too far.
camo cargos?
Yeah,
You're
don't-
crazy,
come
man.
on.
You got to have a pair of
What's the
camo
length on them?
cargos.
Because I like
Got to be knee length.
I like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
capri link almost. I got 2 pairs of those for this past little trip, and I love them.
Yeah.
Way long.
Mine go right to the knee, and then that's what I wear when we're touring around. Because
Yeah.
it's comfortable and it's easy.
Feels good.
But I did see a picture that scared the shit out of me the other day when we played in Corsicana for the Derek Days Festival. Someone caught a picture of us all sitting in the trailer waiting to go on stage.
And you all had
And I'm
cargos on?
just sitting here like this. Got my legs spread out, drink in my hand, kicked back. Somebody took a picture, and I just looked at my legs and went, ugh, Jesus. Boy, that's 40 plus. God damn.
I just had Chat GPT roast us.
Oh, no.
All
here
of
we
us?
go.
Roast this podcast. Roast the Jerry Jonestown Massacre.
Do you want to read it?
So I'm going to start
Do
doing
you want to
that.
get into
He's
it?
proofreading it right now. He's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a genius idea, actually.
All right, let's see here. Ready?
Yeah.
Cloud.
All right. Welcome to the Jerry Jonestown Massacre podcast, the only show where the hosts drink more than their audience attention span can handle. Hosted by Dustin and Matt, 2 Fort Worth dudes who somehow made drinking on mic and arguing over soundboards into a weekly ritual that technically qualifies as a podcast. Dustin's the guy who shows up to every show like he just wandered in from a vape shop argument, while Matt is what
Vape shop.
happens when your realtor decides he's also your life coach, therapist, and conspiracy theorist, all after 3 IPAs.
That's about accurate.
Each episode is a glorious mess of inside jokes, lukewarm takes, and enough
Lukewarm takes.
and enough local band shout-outs to qualify as community service. It's like if Wayne's World had a midlife crisis and moved to Texas.
It's pretty good.
They cover everything
ChatGPT's
from
got it.
music to MMA to government psyops. You know, the kind of deep, nuanced discussion you'd expect from 2 guys yelling into microphones in a garage full of Lone Star empties and questionable art. But credit where it's due. They've created a Fort Worth institution, like the Stockyards, except smellier and with worse acoustics.
That should be our tagline now.
The acoustics are great in here.
That is going to be the new one right there. A Fort Worth institution, like the Stockyards, except smellier.
Yeah. We need to get that T-shirt made now.
In the end, Jerry Jonestown Massacre is what happens when you give 2 dudes with 0 filter, 2 mics, and a dream,
Zero
and
filter.
somehow, against all odds, it works, kinda.
0 filters.
God.
I like when robots roast you.
Can't even fight back.
Should I have it roast Paratheory?
God
It's like
willing. Go
Mic
ahead.
drop. Boom.
We're on our 26th episode that we were supposed to do last night and didn't.
How many you doing one a week?
Yeah, we're doing Mondays.
How's it been going?
Monday.
It's going good.
Yeah.
The para world's upside down.
Yeah.
So it's all crazy right now. It's just
Why is it
there's-
crazy?
There's just nothing. There's just nothing good on. There's like nothing. No good teams out there running. There's no.
Has everybody just given up?
Pretty much.
Really?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're giving up. They're just literally going for the stream now. The shit's just
yeah.
fake as it can possibly get.
Faking it all out.
100%. Everything's hoax. Nobody's in it to actually capture evidence anymore. They're just going for the stream, going for the view, trying to get
That
the hours
stinks.
in. Yeah, it sucks.
Mm.
There's like a couple good shows that are out there, but other than those, and those really aren't even about the part of trying to capture the science in it, what it is, get answers. It's more just fun to watch them. One of those is Project Fear. It just reminds me of a band.
Yeah.
It literally reminds me of like a 4-piece band, and take the band part out of it, then add in all the camaraderie and going out to haunted places, and you're watching reactions of these dudes. And it's like, okay, it's pretty entertaining, But other than that, there's not, man. Like even fucking some of the big ones stopped, and they stopped on a dime, and
that stinks.
It does, man. So for Paratheory, it makes it a lot harder because you're just picking up on all the. It's turned to drama. Everything's drama.
Like arguing and fights, like the reality TV.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like reality TV,
and because that's what sells. Because the Real Housewives and the
if it bleeds, it reads, man.
Yeah, below decks of this world,
or if
and
it bleeds, it leads. That's what it is.
You want to see people argue and fight. I saw a couple of weird things on this trip. That one of them I was telling Matt before the show. I'm still freaked out about.
What's that?
Because it's something I've always heard about when I was a kid. And if you listen to the last week's show that we did, which is part 2 of the trip out west, I had it all planned out before we went out there. I wanted to do a Art Bell style coast to coast show.
Okay.
That was all going to be about aliens and UFOs. We're in far west Texas. We were in Marfa. Well, the first night we were there, we're like, well, let's go to the Marfa Lights. And I'm like, if we go to the Marfa Lights, we're going to set up and do the podcast from the Marfa Lights viewing station.
There you go.
So we set up and we start getting going. There's quite a few people there watching. And then the Marfa Lights really came out. And they came out strong to where all of us are like, I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what this is. I can't explain this at all.
Sure.
No one can explain it. Like,
I don't think they ever have been able to explain it. It's kind of like Anson lights, same thing.
Because, people walk by and go, oh, it's just headlights. Well, there's no road over there, and headlights don't shoot into the air and then split into 3.
Yeah.
And they're going higher than the mountaintops. They're going into the air. You can see them. And they don't move back and forth violently, converge, fade out, fade back in. I pointed my laser at one.
How'd
See
that
what
go?
happened. It disappeared and then came back.
Oh, weird.
The only thing that...
So you don't think it's people fucking with people at all?
They
You saw was what you saw. You don't think is earthly?
No, there was too many of them. I mean, you'd have to have an army of people out there doing stuff. They're different colors, and their colors change, and it truly was weird. Like it. I mean, we're sitting there watching. We're like, okay, ha ha ha, neat. No, oh, and more appear. Then some disappeared. Then a whole bunch appear.
Were they
some of these
orbs?
disappear, move
Like
around.
orbs, or
They're round lights.
Yeah, like
round
will-o-wisps
lights, huh?
almost.
And they move
Little orbs.
around like this as they're moving around, and then they'll go up, and they'll move around, and they'll change, and then like you'll be watching one, and all of a sudden, 2 of them, one will shoot out of it, and then like one went up and burst into 3, and we're like, what the fuck was that? Like, what is going on?
Yeah. Susie concurs. Those lights were crazy.
They
Some
really threw me off. Like, I was 100%.
I can't believe there was no video.
Like, and that's what pissed me off is I'm running all this gear trying to
Trying
make
to get
sure
you-
we're doing a show. I figured one of them was running video, or at least shooting a little bit. Especially all this. Andrew always has his phone out shooting everything in the world.
Yep.
No one shot anything to get all this. I think all of us were just sitting there going
enamored by it, kind of
this
freaked
is
out.
crazy. We're
Yeah.
watching this. Like this is
How
happening.
long did they last for?
We did what, about an hour, and it started right as the sun. Once it started turning dark, like as dusk began to turn into darkness, they started up, and they were still going when we left for about an hour because we were just like, what the heck? And then I got to looking it up, and some people say, if you're lucky, they'll appear about a dozen times a year.
Do they have an app for it out there? Because up in Fairbanks for the Northern Lights, they have an app and everything to tell you where
Like you can watch.
But I guess you're talking about a naturally occurring phenomenon to
Random.
randomness. So yeah, you couldn't really.
I
Do
thought
it
about going out there the next night, but it rained, and they said that when it
Doesn't do
rains,
well.
you won't see them. They don't come around anytime it's wet or when it's raining.
Okay.
So I was like, huh.
They're
and
witches.
they've thought it was gas different gases.
That's what they said about Anson.
Is it witches that don't get
blown out.
wet in the rain? Like they stay dry?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the rain goes around them.
Yeah.
But I
guess
if you
they're
look
not
through
witches.
everything, like there were some ranchers, like Native Americans have seen these. You know, it dates way back to where Native Americans had seen them and stuff.
The
and
Marfalites?
The Marfalites. And there used to be an air base right there where the Marfalites viewing area was, an Army air base, where they trained pilots for World War II. And it's gone now. There's that nice. You went out to the viewing platform with us, right? And saw it. They have that real nice viewing platform with a bunch of chairs and stuff you can sit up. It's nice. Got bathrooms, everything. It's a big parking area. A lot of people pull up there and watch. And I guess some ranchers in like the 50s came across them. Were out there with cattle and got right up against them, or were right up where they were, and they said that it was ethereal spirits. It's the closest thing they can compare them to.
Damn.
But I left there
wondering
and going, huh, that's interesting, strange.
There's no noise or anything, huh? Just the visuals?
No noise, no nothing.
You ever seen like when you see on TV or you see video or whatnot, you see a war going on, you see them shooting across the sky, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
with the tracers.
Right. You see the tracer going across the sky, but there's no sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it's like. It's
like tracer rounds?
But they didn't move that fast.
But they don't move that fast. I haven't gotten to see them in person. That's awesome, but I haven't.
There is video on YouTube where you can see them.
Yeah.
You know, there is stuff. It was weird. Very, very strange.
Do you have a clip of that? Can you pull that up on there?
You can pull up YouTube and then drag a video up there over that screen.
Yeah, I screw up at the very beginning by maximizing the screen, so I can't even switch cameras.
Why can't you exit that large screen?
Yeah, that's why I tried. Yeah, see, these aren't even responding, and I even did the key commands too.
So, but anyway, I mean, yeah. I was just saying.
After I set everything up nice and neat.
Crazy.
Yeah. I've seen some. I just never. I haven't looked into it much. I never thought to ask if there was any kind of audio that they put out. Any audio.
Anson, out by Abilene, it's just one light though.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Abilene Christian University. They go out there every year and try and prove what this thing is. They use their classes to go out.
They better watch it and prove their
No one's been able to figure it
wrong.
Out. They literally cannot figure this thing out. They don't know, and it is. I've gotten to see it go down there. There wasn't anybody there. It was me and my buddy, and he was the one showing me. He was like, "Dude, you're not gonna believe this." I'm like, "I don't believe it."
Right.
This is the kids pushing you over the train tracks theory. This is bullshit, And then I get out there, and sure enough, this little light comes up at the end of the road and starts coming at you, and it's swinging. It starts coming, and
it's fucking weird.
And it gets right up, 10 feet from you, 20, maybe 20 feet. And it's shining on the ground the whole night, and then it just turns off. And then when you turn your headlights on, there's nothing there. There's nobody standing there.
You know what we should do? We should take a field trip to Galveston.
That was another thing.
Because I bet you Galveston has a lot of crazy shit down there.
Galveston does. When this last trip I took, I didn't realize how
there's some weird stuff
crazy
going on down
stuff.
there. I bet you. Oh, Justin could dig up us getting into some stuff.
Don't have to go to Dallas.
Don't swim in their beaches. A lot is
to do
fucking
nasty.
nasty.
But it'd be creepier because the old Victorian homes and stuff that are all over in the historic area of Galveston, over there by the Strand.
We're trying to get the. God damn! I just lost it. What's the big hotel downtown Dallas? Been there for
Adolphus.
Adolphus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is something going on at Adolphus?
Adolphus
There's a lot.
has a ton of history.
Wrong.
There was dudes that would go in there, they have a business meeting, go upstairs, get a room, open their window, jump out.
Wow.
Yeah, just a massive amount of suicides.
What was it, Black Monday or whatever? A bunch of people killed themselves at the Adolphus. That were all Dallas businessmen.
Have they gotten to where they put nets out? Like they do in China?
No, but they should.
Yeah.
I don't think you can open any of the windows.
Bars. No, yeah, I don't think you can open the windows now.
Yeah.
And they have that
Empire State
weird
Building too.
Attic area with that weird window that does shit. That's an old.
They've got an old rotary telephone up there that rings every night. It's
Yeah.
not plugged into the wall. There's nothing to it. It's just
It
an
rings.
It rings on its own once a night.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to go test that. Like, I want to test the shit. They won't let you touch it, and I'm like, well, there's your fucking
answer right there,
buddy.
Yeah.
Let me touch it. Let me get with the nuts and bolts on this thing. Let me unscrew it and find out what's going on inside of it.
Yeah.
That's where Perry Theory has kind of leaned more lately, because there is so much bullshit. Garbage. And we're going after the ones that are just literally going, hey man, look, no, this is fake.
Just pulling the
100%.
Penn and Teller
that
made
is the way to do it.
I hate it. But at the same time, like, we're trying to help save some of the
romanticism.
Well, the actual like what we were
cool
all
part of
set
it.
out to originally do is just getting brushed under the rug now.
Yeah.
It's all jump scares and bullshit. Like, when horror films got to where they were doing jump scares.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then that went on for the longest time, and then that died. And then it was slasher flicks, and then that died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is where we're at in the paranormal world.
And then there was raw footage of like Blair Witch Project, paranormal activities.
Yes, that crap. And it's literally getting down to where it's like, I'm watching comments go through on a bunch of these paranormal groups, and it's just two dudes and a camera, or one dude and a camera. It's gotten down to solos. And the one that really kills me are these guys that do these camping trips, man. I laugh every fucking time. Because they're like, solo camping trip in the most haunted forest in Chicago. I'm like, okay, all right,
cool.
I'm in. Let's see it. I've kind of fast forward through the footage. He's like, okay, I'm out here and I'm in the woods and I got this tent. So they crawl up in their tent.
I'm
Or
hearing sounds.
He crawls up in his tent and he gets in there and he zips it up and he hears one thing rustle in the bushes. And then the next clip is him. He's like, I heard something. I don't know what it was. I packed up my shit and got out of there. If you like it, just like and subscribe to the page. Well, I'm like, dude, come on, man. Come on. Killing me here. Like,
yeah.
That's rage inducing.
It is. And I just got to where, like, I don't even watch it. I just fast forward through. Just fast forwarding.
Yeah.
Get to the good part. Okay, what do we got? All right, that sucked.
Yeah.
Moving along. You know what I mean?
So, like, this whole trip out to West Texas, and then when we broke off from everybody and kept going west.
And what were you originally out there for?
So, a friend of ours that does the Fort Worth Roots podcast, he
Mhm.
turned 40 and wanted to go out there and kind of celebrate his birthday.
Welcome to the club, pal.
And he also, there was a secret engagement involved.
Oh, okay. Right on. Did she
Um,
say yes?
She did.
Awesome. Good deal.
So we spent 4 days or 3 days in Big Bend, a day in Terralingus in a star dome thing, then 2 days in Marfa, and then after Marfa, everybody that was with us came back. They started heading back, and Susie and I went west because I was like, I want to go west.
Yeah.
I want to go. There's 2 state parks out there. We've already driven 3/4 the way here. I want to drive the rest of the way, and because I'm knocking off all the state parks, I want to see them all.
Right.
And there's 2 in El Paso, but on the way you can also go by the Guadalupe Peak National Park.
Okay.
So went by there, and I was like, if we're gonna do this, then let's make it a full day, and let's end in White Sands, New Mexico. So that's what we did. And going west, there was so much weird shit that was just odd. Like, you're in the middle of the desert, and all of a sudden there's a giant pecan orchard that is probably, I don't know, 500 acres big, huge, in the middle of the desert, where
How far west did you go?
there's no water. It's almost Van Horn. So we went to Van Horn, and then we went north to Guadalupe Mountains. So we
Okay,
passed
all right.
past Blue Origin, which is weird.
Okay.
Where it's at. Blue Origin's totally weird.
It's a weird area of Texas once you
Whole
get out
weird
there.
area.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that area where Blue Origin is was so strange. There's some massive ranches and stuff right around there. And then we get up to Guadalupe Peak, and then from there we just went straight west into El Paso. Went to the Waco tanks. That is an experience on its own, because that is like a spiritual gathering place for Native Americans.
Yeah.
All the way up to when the 49ers came through. And there is graffiti and all sorts of stuff everywhere. That place is awesome. It's the only state park where I've had to go through an orientation before stepping foot out.
Really?
into the state park.
Is it to like respect the traditions?
And they won't
of
let
that?
you see 3/4 of it without a guide. Like a lot of the pictographs and stuff, they don't want disturbed and stuff without a guide.
Okay, well I can
But
understand it from that point.
it was gorgeous, beautiful, and then Franklin Mountains. But so the weirdest thing was, you know the blimp in Marfa, the weird tether blimp.
Yeah,
it was up. In
Oh,
the
yeah?
air. Yeah, that was weird.
What color was it?
White, the same white.
Just looked like a weather balloon still.
Yeah, it's the one that they watch the border.
Oh.
They can see like 800 miles of the border or some shit. It goes up there. It's tethered to a station. It goes up and it's got all this radar and stuff and can see the border and all the land around it and everything for the Border Patrol. But a place I want to go spend more time in is the whole area around White Sands. White Sands, the White Sands Missile Range.
Yeah.
The White Sands, we're driving through the middle of the missile range. They have a museum. Didn't have time to go by and look at it to go see all their missiles and stuff they've tested and built there and junk. But to see the missile range, the launch facilities, all that stuff, and then drive by somewhere by this one place and it says White Sands Laser and Energy Weapon Test Range.
Dang.
I thought we didn't have energy weapons. I thought those were all a thing of myth. But there's a test range for energy weapons right close to the White Sands National Park.
It was.
I thought we had some naval destroyers that had at least one installed.
Was
in
a
it.
myth.
Well, our government says we don't. We would never have Jewish space lasers ever.
Our government would never lie to us.
Never
Dustin, what
lie
are you
to us.
talking
That
about?
hits Maui,
There-
all the houses that don't have blue tarps on their roofs.
But there is just there you go.
There it is. Yeah. Blue
There's a
tarps.
lot of weird shit right in that area that's just strange stuff. And so we ended our trip in Cloudcroft, which is the highest village in New Mexico, 9,000 feet. You go from the desert floor, basically straight into a mountain and straight up. Within 20 miles, you're at 9,000 feet. And we stayed in this place called The Lodge at Cloudcroft.
Strippers?
And
Sounds creepy.
it's over 100 years old. And the first thing I said when we went there, this place is haunted.
You just walked in the door. You're
Just
like,
walked
this
the door,
place
I
is
was like,
haunted.
This place is haunted.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
I drive my band nuts with that when we're going down the road and we get out on some back ass roads and we go
Yeah.
through these little towns. You see these old Victorian homes with moss growing all over them. Like,
Yeah.
place is haunted. And they're like, how do you fucking know? I'm like, I don't. But just look at that.
Well, it is. The hotel is, and it's celebrated. They have an apparition there named Rebecca.
Yeah.
Which was
Hadouken.
a redhead that worked there, and she had a lumberjack boyfriend
And he's okay.
that found out.
Started Jackal?
No, that found her in the arms
That's
of
a
another
stretch.
man,
No, it's two different references.
and
chainsaw.
he took her out to. Now this was like 100 years ago. Took her out to the woods and chopped her up with an axe.
Oh, okay, an axe.
God.
Damn it. I thought we were going chainsaw, Texas. Son of a
Buried her
bitch.
body somewhere on the golf
Damn.
course that's out there because it's got a golf course, a little 9-hole golf course, and brought her head back to the hotel and supposedly buried it somewhere in the hotel, like
Well,
hid
that
it
was
somewhere
nice
in the
of him.
hotel.
Why would he do that?
I don't know. That's the way the story goes. But
See, man, you got to get more into the what the fuck part of it. You know what I mean?
It
Like when
is.
people are telling you stories about
this is what
This-
was written on the wall.
it wasn't like somebody telling you that. Because
No,
that
it
would have
was-
been just a bundle of questions. Like, wait a minute, he
No.
chopped up the whole body and then had the audacity to bring the head back here.
They have a
Why?
picture of Rebecca, and then they have the whole story beside her, and I took pictures of it. And so I was reading that, and then the little binder that's with the hotel. There's a whole story in there about her and everything, and that's
Okay,
where
all
I found
right.
out. And I was
Makes
like,
more sense.
okay,
Did you write in a question?
no, I should have.
Please email me here.
But
Need
so
answers.
Need
there's
answers.
a whole bunch of stories of doors opening, doors closing, stuff being moved around, furniture moving around, her being seen in the hallways. And in fact, when we were bringing in all our stuff, there was a young couple, late teens, early 20s, came running down the stairs, and the guy was like, "You'll have to excuse her," because the girl looked like she just was shit herself or something. "You have to excuse her, but she just had an experience with a ghost." And they ran to their room and whatever. But yeah, it's the first time I've actually seen a place celebrate that they have a ghost in there and make a big deal about it.
When you get out through those, West Texas in general,
yeah,
south of 10, is like no man's land.
No man's land.
Like it is just crazy out there. But you go through, like if you're on 10, you go through New Mexico.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. I remember back in high school, we went out there and just, we had it in our head we were going to go, I don't know, this is such a stupid story. Went to New Mexico to go camping. Our idea was we were just going to go trip balls out in the desert. And we did, but I didn't realize how vast that once you get out there, I was like, well, where the hell are we going to just find, we can't just turn off the highway. And then my buddy was like, no, dude, you can literally just say, I'm going left here and turn, and it's desert. You just start driving. Right. And it totally is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and then you start. Did you ever go? Have you ever been out to California on 10?
No, I've never made the full drive on 10.
You get out to Arizona and you start seeing these signs. It's like the thing 50 miles. Then it's like 5 miles later, the thing 45 miles. Yeah, we saw that all the way out, to Santa Monica. As we're going out, we get it. We are California. We get into California, and of course it stops because we passed it. But we're seeing signs on the way to California, and once we pass it, it's like, turn around, the thing's behind you. I'm like, what the hell?
See, ours,
and then we stopped in to see the thing on the way back. We were like, well, we got to see this fucking thing.
What was it?
It was out of order. No bullshit. We got into the gas station. They're like, I was like, yeah, been bugged by this for, the entire state. I'd like to see this thing. And they're like, oh, it's out of order right now. I'm like, it's what?
How's it out of
order? It's a thing. How's it out of order?
Ours on this trip was...
I'd be asking more questions at that point.
The largest pistachio in the world. You're going to see the largest pistachio in the world.
Say it again, but say it slower.
The largest pistachio in the
say
world.
Pistachio slower.
The largest ball twine in Minnesota.
But it's like... it was in Alamogordo.
Alamogordo? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also where the ET cartridges are buried.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is that where they were?
Alamogordo, yeah.
So that's, and we never saw it. We just saw the signs, but we had to turn to go to Cloudcroft before that. But yeah, I've never seen a hotel really celebrate its ghost.
Except in New Orleans.
I was about to say, like Myrtle's Plantation, stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess they do, don't they? I didn't think about that.
I have been enjoying watching these guys that are doing these really well filmed, well put together documentaries. So they're doing all these notoriously haunted places, and they're going hard to the paint, digging for the truth.
Uh-huh.
And they're really digging into the history. You can tell they spent at least 6 months putting this together. Like they have put in the time, and they're going in and they're letting they're getting the interview from the person that leads the property, and they're telling the whole folklore story of like Myrtle's Plantation. There's one about that right now, and then this guy comes in, he's like, well, here's the truth, and here's what's made up, and he'll show you the facts, and I'm like, oh, I like this guy. That's hurrah, go for it.
That's kind of rad.
Because then you're really finding out, am I going to waste all my money on this? And that's the other part we're talking about over there is like how much these fucking places are charging. Oh my God, dude.
Really?
For ghost tours?
Oh my God. The one that's under fire right now is Haunted Hill House out in Mineral Wells. Which we already knew was fake.
Yeah.
But how hard to the paint they're going on that is like all the stories they're making up. And so there's this dude, of course, you want to find anything, you can go on Reddit. You can see people that are just like, well, I had some time, so I put together a list, and here's a whole background, and he pulls up history, and he's got all the documents he's pulled, and these are like land guys, right? That work from gas and oil, right, and have the power to go. They don't have to go to City Hall or go look through public records. They can just pull them.
Yeah.
So they're pulling them all up and showing them, no, it never belonged to these people. This name's never mentioned. There was no death on the property. There's 0 deaths on the property. There was never not even a somebody got hurt on this property that was documented, blah, blah, blah. The death you're talking about of this Toby guy never even existed. Like, he just goes on this whole list. And I'm like, holy shit. That's their whole get up.
Yeah, what about the
That's the
baker,
whole
though?
thing.
I mean, I know
Nothing. Nada. Like, as far as, like the haunted tales about it,
yeah,
there's no history to back it up.
And the baker?
There's only one, and it's the prostitute that they found dead in there. And there was a lady that did jump from the top floor, or the 8th floor, or whatever floor it is.
Was she shot in the back?
I don't know that. I don't know that.
There was the bellhop though. That happened because my grandmother worked there when that happened.
Okay, there's the bellhop. But as far as
Like,
what
that
is what
Baker
we
supposedly
found,
crushed. Yeah,
there's not anything that's like drastically. You know, these are all we gotta think, man. These are all stories from back years ago.
The weird story when we were out there and walking through it, that we were told that I thought was a little over the top was that there was a guy that steamed. They basically cooked 5 other guys in one of the
steam rooms.
Yeah.
Have you been in those?
Yeah.
That's
I got
crazy,
pictures.
dude. You start looking at those like containers, even and, your head just slides through a slot.
Yeah,
it's
way weird.
I don't think I'm gonna. I'm good.
But the story, the girl that told the story, she was the one that did the tours through there and kind of showed us what was going on. She said, "Yeah," and the tale goes that he was getting picked on. It was a bunch of guys that worked there, different bellhops and waiters and stuff that all worked there, and they were picking on him because he was smaller. So he talked them all into, hey, let's meet up after work and let's go, let's go hang out and get, So they all met at the steam room, and he locked the door and cranked it up and cooked them all.
The dude that did the deal on the baker, he didn't go real far into it. He just didn't. He didn't have a big list of the deaths and all the accountability. He was more. He was more aiming towards Hill House just because of how much bullshit they've.
And Hill House
because Baker isn't charging you $1,000 a night to go in, or let alone $250 a person. They're not charging anything. They're just not letting people in to investigate because they're trying to rebuild it. Right now.
I knew that,
and it looks beautiful. If you've been out there lately, like go out there at night, you can see they don't have the windows tinted, so they've got every light in the place on all the way up, so you can kind of see like, oh, they've painted all the walls, they put in new lighting, they've adjusted the fixed all the windows. Like, it's beautiful.
I've Hill House is the one that's right behind it, right?
Correct.
Up there where the sign is, right there where the peninsula.
Yeah.
Up above it.
Yeah, like if you're looking at Baker, it's like to the right and on the hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just one of the many that are popping up. Like there's a father-son duo that bought a bunch of houses up in Kansas City, and they're just saying they're haunted. They're giving stories on them, and then they're renting them out to investigators because people are sucker enough to go in there for $200, $300, $400 a person, rent the place. Like Yorktown Asylum down in Yorktown, Texas, $1,500 a night to go in.
Jesus.
Up to 5 people.
Stubbs, I got a business plan.
Well, there it is, right? I was listening to Joe Rogan talk to. I was listening to it today because Craig sent it over, and we were listening to it. Sam and Colby, he did an interview with them. And they were talking about the Conjuring house because that lady is off her fucking rocker. She is the lady who owns this a fucking nutbag. And so Sam and Colby had done a bunch of work up at the Conjuring house, and they pulled up the site. And Joe's like in the podcast, and he looks up at it, and he's like, the Conjuring universe. He's like, the universe, well, turned into a business. Yep, this is all just propaganda. Like, it's just like, yeah, it is. It is. It's all just, it's no different than Halloween comes around and the ghost houses open up.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So like we always tell like our fans that watch us is like, do your homework before you go
spend money.
Well, not just spending money.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should ever be charged to go inside and investigate a place, period. But here's the reason why. We're going in and we're doing the work, right?
Yeah.
We're taking in all the gear, and we're running a channel. And we're going in, we're trying to capture footage. Now, here's where the divider line comes in. There's guys like us, and there's the dudes that are just going to flauntingly just fake everything.
Yeah.
It's all jump scares and bullshit, right? We're going in to try and find answers. We go in there and we actually capture something. Whether we do or don't, we're going to be talking about your place. We're promoting it. Yeah. We're helping you, right? So I get charging, but like just gutting somebody. Like, you want to charge $150 for 2 guys to go in and spend the night? Cool.
Yeah, that's
You know?
reasonable.
Yeah, but you're going to charge me $300
Several
a man to go in, $600 for a place that has one power outlet that might work and no running water. We're not sleeping there for the night. We got to
Yeah.
travel to fucking God knows where, Texas, and rent a hotel for them. No, man. No.
Yeah.
No way. Fuck that. I'm out. So that's what's going on in the para world right now, is that a lot of people are getting screwed on shit like that. We're trying to help them not get screwed.
Have you had any more fallout or anything else happen after the Howe farm?
No.
The Howe family farm?
No, he's all's good there.
It is?
Yeah, we just haven't. I mean, he's renting that place out as a wedding venue.
Yeah.
So he's got business in through there like crazy.
I went over there for the
Pumpkin
Halloween
nights.
pumpkin nights
Yeah.
and then the Christmas one they had.
Yep.
And yeah, it was.
He's
running
had
great.
he's had a few guests that have rented the cottage out because it's an Airbnb as well.
Yeah.
And didn't know anything about us going in there or the haunted history of it or whatnot, and then have come out and said, "Hey, we had weird things happening up here all night last night." And then that's when he's like, "Oh, by the way," I'm like, "Dude, why don't you put that in your brochure? Like, why don't you
Yeah.
put a link to that video?" Like,
I don't think it's gonna drive people away. Or
no,
anything.
if
It'd
anything,
make
people want to stay in
wanna
there.
Yeah, it'll
stay
make
there.
them curious. Yeah.
There's a
Totally.
whole genre of people that want that. you know?
Especially if you can show the video on it and you can show that it's not bullshit. You know, it's like we had experiences in there. It's on
Right.
it's on the channel, it's on YouTube. But people can see the homework in it and all that stuff. But yeah, you would want to use that. I don't know. He's a great dude. Scott Howell's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that place is awesome. I think I don't know if they've torn down the mansion yet.
Are they going to?
He's going to.
Oh, really?
And he's going to flatten it and he's going to build a new building up there.
Because it doesn't look good at all.
Oh, it's in horrible shape.
I walked up. I looked at it from a distance during pumpkin nights, but during the Christmas thing, I walked up to it and was like, "Man, this looks really bad. Like
It's
it could
real-
fall down at
When
any
we
time."
first went into it, it was just raccoon poop everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
it was just mounds of it, and I was like, "Dude, why are we walking through this? Like, I don't even care what's in here. This is gross." And like,
You're gonna
so
get hint of virus.
we
and-
told him that when the second time we came out, we told him, "It's like, hey man, I don't know. We'll just stick to the cottage and the barn and the land, and we'll do that here. You know, we'll stick to the river
yeah.
and then he was like, I'll take care of the house. It'll be ready for you by the time you come in." I was like, okay. Well, when we came back, it was like spotless. There wasn't a cobweb on the wall. There wasn't nothing. It was completely cleaned out.
Is the house not protected?
No.
It's-
Did Craig and I not tell you about having to call the police when we came back the last time?
What happened?
Well, not protected like that. I meant protected as a landmark.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
no,
historic
it's not.
It's
landmark.
not, but there's a historic landmark out front.
I think that's for the cottage and the property.
Oh,
Once
okay.
the house starts to decay to a point, it's
over.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you told me that there was someone there.
Yeah, so this place is over in Arlington, and it's called Howell Farms, and it used to belong to Colonel Waples, who ran our food and beverage for all of Dallas Fort Worth. He had Waples Platter. He was involved with all of a lot of our cattle and stuff that came through, meats and stuff. He was also responsible for like the Star Telegram.
He was the original Benny Keith, basically.
Yeah, he was the dude.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it
Okay.
all leads up to a murder, is what we found out. Now, everybody, it's up for speculation, but from what the info that we dug into and what we found was like, he put millions of dollars into a company that we know now today as Star Telegram, and on the day that he put in like $1 million check into what is Eamon Carter, the Eamon Carter, he mysteriously just dies on his own railroad tracks right in front of his house that day on the way home because he couldn't get out the back of a car.
Yeah, that's
The
totally
chauffeur lived.
suspicious.
By the trolley that he owns that's sitting in a museum down in downtown Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we come in to do it took us 3 times to get in there and really get an investigation done. And on this 3rd time, he's got the house clean and whatnot. But before we got to go in, it was daytime. We get there to get all our shit set up, do a walkthrough, get B-roll. And we get there, and usually you come in through the back door, and the back door is open for you. He's like, and Scott was like, yeah, just go through the back door. Should be good to go. Well, we go up to the back door. Well, it's barricaded with like a table and chairs and all this stuff packed up against it. I'm like, man, we can't get in. There's a barricade up against it. I was like, we're going to walk around and see if we can find another way in. He goes, well, there's not. Everything's, locked up and chained up. I'm like, okay. Well, Craig comes up and goes, hey, man, the front door's just dummy locked. So somebody had snipped the lock and then dummy locked it like a padlock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And because there's a cage door over the front door to keep people from breaking in. And so I was like, hold on. I think we found a way in. I was like, I'll call you right back. And he's like, okay, call me back. And I could tell in his voice that something was off. And then when I saw the lock snipped, I was like, okay, that's not good, Craig. Like, so I immediately like pistol up and go in, and we go in and there's a bed laying in the, I guess which would be the dining room, a mattress.
Yeah.
And there's a backpack and there's like a little electric fan that's battery powered fan.
Yeah, so someone's squatting there.
Someone's squatting.
Yeah.
And you could tell someone split as soon as either they had just split or heard us coming in or heard us walking around the property and went and hid somewhere. It's a huge mansion, and went and hid somewhere in the house. And we thought we cleared the whole house. And we get down to where the basement's at, and it's a huge basement. It's got like 4 bedrooms down there, like rooms about this size, right? Four of these going down. And it's got like a kitchen area and a dry pantry and whatnot.
All that is underneath that house?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And so there's no light down there. I'm not about to walk down there. I don't care who's down. I'm not just going to haul off and shoot somebody.
You don't have a light on your pistol?
I had a flashlight like this.
Oh, okay.
So I'm over the top going down through there. And I was like, I'm not going down there. There's no way out. So I stood at the top of the stairs and we called the police. I said, we're calling the police right now, man. If you're down there, we're just giving you a chance. Just leave. You can leave. No harm, no foul. You're not in trouble. Just go, man. Just go. Get your stuff, get out.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people here tonight. We're going to be taking, and we're trying to, but no sound came out. So we call the police. They show up with SWAT.
Oh, SWAT?
SWAT.
Now,
Arlington.
at the same time, or around this time, we drive by.
Oh, really? You saw this?
Because we were going to Growl to see our friends in the Methinks play.
I didn't know this part.
Yeah.
Okay.
And was like, I was like, they were supposed to be doing a whole thing up there tonight, and there's cops everywhere. What the hell's going on? But we went on to Growl about our business. Yeah.
So SWAT goes in, and the cops were laughing about it because they were like, "What do you guys do?" And I was like, "Well, we're a paranormal research group. We're going in to do an investigation." They got a kick out of it. So he's like from the intercom, like doing SWAT gets around the house. They're getting ready to go in. They got the shields up. They're ready to go in and clear the place. And he's on the intercom. He's like,
If there's anybody in the house, please come out now. If there's any ghosts in the house,
you know what I mean? I'm like,
was the robot issued?
No bomb robot. But
no drones.
No drones.
He comes out with
No
this
robots?
backpack in his hand, and it's got that backpack we saw, and he puts it up in the back of the vehicle, and he comes up to us, and because he told us to stand on the other side of my van. He's like, stand on the other side of the van in case they start shooting or whatever. And I was like, okay. And so they clear the whole house. It takes like 20, 30 minutes for them to get cleared. And it's like, man, there's nobody in here. But we did find this. And they put this backpack in the back of the truck. And he's like, did you guys happen to look through the backpack that was in there? And we were like, we didn't touch anything. We just saw that somebody was squatting. We were trying to get him out of the house. We called you.
Somebody was a doper.
We messed up someone's deal for sure because there was like 40 G's in that backpack.
G's of what?
Money.
Cash.
Oh,
Cash.
okay. I thought you meant like
yeah. And it was all like
a substance.
This is pressed money labeled.
Why didn't you check the backpack?
Dude, tell me about it.
I
think
told
about
Craig,
it
I was like, man, that's a lot of gear y'all could have bought.
Lord of mercy, I could have bought a new van.
Yeah.
A bunch of new gear.
Yeah, no kidding.
Goddamn.
Backpack? What backpack?
I don't know what you're
Didn't
talking
see
about.
one. Nope. Definitely not that one in my backseat. But no. He's like, yeah, you interrupted somebody's squatting, somebody's dealing out of here. When they, like the
should have asked
bag
for a
was filled
reward.
with money, and then it also had like I guess drugs in there. So it stopped somebody from dealing out on the streets and squatting.
You might have saved someone's life.
Maybe that's the way I look at it. I like to think that maybe, but
You
we
should
don't
have told
know.
the cops 40 grand.
But it made
I
it
thought
a
it was
hell of
only
a-
30 grand.
yeah.
Give him the look.
Yeah, I thought it was 80. What the? So it made it a little bit more interesting to be in there investigating that night because we were like, wasn't so worried about the ghost side of it as we were like
someone showing back up.
This dude showing back up, like right?
Yeah.
Because he came out there and then he put a bigger lock on the door, and I was like, well, I obviously didn't stop him before, bro. Like, he's like, yeah, but you'll hear him while you're in there. I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And then we caught nothing in the house, barely. I mean, we had some things happen. We had the little voice giggle and all that shit, but that was all later in post. You know, we heard it and we were like, oh, there was that. Well, okay. But nothing massive, you know, like we had happen elsewhere on that property. So,
do you, when y'all are in the post process, going through things, do you watch everything real time and go through it step by step, or do you like take a audio analyzer or
usually
look at it and see if you see something happen on the?
I'll see the wave come up, and I can kind of just get a base reading. And if I see a spike or something come up in there, I'll go and zero in on that because otherwise it would be in there for days.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I mean, I just go through and look at the wave.
As we're talking about AI at the beginning of the show, you know, clipping stuff up.
Right.
It's like,
and then the video is kind of just fast forward through and see if anything, because I mean, it's just a still room. You're going to notice if anything moves. You know, there's not a lot in there. It's an empty room. We set up some trigger objects to see if they, like we caught raccoons, possums, rats, and you name it. It's bats flying around, which like one investigation helped us. Like we kept feeling like shit was happening above us, but we couldn't figure out what it was. We weren't hearing anything, but then we realized it was a bat
flying around.
Yeah.
We had a couple of bats flying around us out there at the Marfa Lights.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's neat. They're flying around out here. There's nothing out there, so who knows where they were hiding.
Were there as many as there are under the Concord Street Bridge?
No.
That's a lot.
Yeah. It was like just one or two. You could hear them squeak.
We definitely should do the I like the Galveston idea too, though, man. There's quite a bit down there in Galveston.
There is.
Yeah.
That hotel I stayed at, that Hotel Galvez. That one has had some issues because of the hurricane and the nun and all the children from the nunnery or whatever all died or drowned during the hurricane.
It always involves nuns. Like the hotel that I stayed at in New Orleans, same thing. Some nun hung herself off the 4th floor or something because she let some kids die or something. And
everything's haunted.
It's always a nun. Always nuns are always bad news.
I get a kick out of watching these vampire deals. There's a guy that comes on our show. He'll pop in the comments and he'll be like,
"I am a vampire."
No, he's an author. And he wrote this book about vampires, and he keeps coming in. And we were talking on Blood in the Water. We were talking about it at the band, and because Corey brought it up. He's like, dude, what was up with that vampire dude coming into your podcast last night? And we talked about it in Blood in the Water. And then Bob, our bass player, was like, dude, this guy's going to show up and kill us at a gig. It's going to happen.
Is he an energy vampire? Like Colin Robinson?
No, he's just this older
Is he a
guy
fan of your
that
band?
just he just
Oh, man,
he
you are
wrote a
screwed.
book and it's on Amazon for sale. And
Sounds like the Spaghetti King.
he's like, I'm the author of Vampires Alive or something like that. And he's like, I'd love to be on your podcast, yada, yada. And we've had thought about bringing him on, but we get more of a kick out of just reading the back of his book. This is just like, there's so many questions.
Is he from here?
No, I don't know where he's from.
He's a grassroots fan.
Yeah.
You got to send him a free T-shirt, man. Sign it and stuff. Keep on rocking in the free
With
world,
zero
vampire.
return address.
And put little fangs on it. Put little fangs on your signature, like you're part of the crew.
I'm pulling up the Hotel Galvez. It was 90 children and 10 sisters. They all attached themselves to one another using ropes. They cut their cloth into rope.
Oh, wow.
So they could all be attached to each other during the
other?
hurricane and try to survive the hurricane. And they think that's what it was, the hurricane of 1900. But they think
So
that's what led
1998
to
or
kill them all. They all perished. Their bodies were buried where they were discovered, leading some to suspect that the Hotel Galvez stands on their mass grave.
Oh.
So that's why you hear ghostly children.
Is Gatos
playing.
still there? Do they still have Gatos in Galveston?
A cat?
No, the crab.
Oh, pinche gato.
The crab restaurant's got that big old ass blue crab out in front of it.
I don't know if it's there or not. I don't remember seeing
Been
it.
there forever.
Yeah.
Probably got taken out by some of the gentrification going on the seawall.
Could have been. They're trying to fancy it up.
Make it not white trash anymore.
We went down to
Hadn't
last
been white
weekend. We
trash
went
in a
to
while, actually.
Crystal Beach down
Yeah.
Margaritaville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last time we were there was last year about this time when we went down and did that. And when we went last year, there wasn't hardly shit down there. It was just Margaritaville and a couple of little shops, and that was it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, whew,
Really?
there's shit all down through there. I was like, damn.
Because that's when
They got smart this time, though, man. They started using the Connex boxes.
Oh, yeah.
And they started building houses out of those.
There
It's
you
like,
go.
yeah, come on, Hurricane, we got you now. I'm like, dude, you're still up on 4 stilts of wood.
Because I wonder what it was around this time last year we went down there. We went to Seaport.
Yeah.
The far state park down there, and then drove back up and hit Crystal Beach.
Yeah.
And came back through there. Yeah, you're right. There was nothing. Except Margaritaville just like popped up out of nowhere.
We had to pull over because my things on the van don't work where they squirt your windshield.
And dude,
windshield wiper fluid.
The residential streets have the weirdest fucking names. I got lost on Q&a-half Street.
Q&a-half.
Yeah.
Gotta look for Q&a-half.
Must be a millennial thing.
Damn,
this was in
millennials.
2002 whenever I went.
Don't get me started on the millennials.
So one of the things that was interesting while we haven't been in the temple is that the Pope died.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's gone.
Francis.
We were just talking a couple of weeks ago that they were saying, "Oh, he's okay and he's going to recover and he'll be back doing
It was
his
kind of a
popely
whipsaw,
duties."
wasn't it?
And then all of a sudden, bam, he's dead.
That's the way the news is. Whipsaw news.
Makes that movie, what's the movie that's out? It just came out this past year, too. Oh, my God. Now it's going to drive me nuts. It's about the Pope. It's about picking
Conclave or the
maybe?
Conclaves.
Was that it? Conclave?
Something like that. I think there was a show that came out. It's like,
That's a TV show. The Conclave is a series.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
Are you talking about the movie where like the Pope is doing all sorts of bad things?
No,
and
the Pope died, and then they're trying to vote on the new Pope, and it's all the political stuff.
What's
that
the
goes on in it.
process here? Do we get to vote on it?
Nope.
I don't think we do, but we can.
Is the Fort Worth Weekly running something that we can vote
I think
in?
there's a ballot the Fort Worth Weekly puts
the
out for your favorite
new
Pope.
favorite Pope?
You can bet on it. I know there's
Yeah.
lines on
Oh, really?
the new Pope.
Yeah, yeah. Let's vote back in Benedictine the 16th.
So do y'all
Guy
know
looked like Palpatine?
Do y'all know the weird ass story about this Pope?
Which one? The one that just died?
Francis?
Or
No,
the new,
the new
one
one.
that they're prospecting?
Whoever they put in there.
Oh,
the interim
I haven't
Pope?
heard anything about it.
No,
He
Has
was
it already been
invested in-
replaced?
Was he
No.
invested in baby oil?
they're not going to. The conclave isn't meeting until like
Yeah.
May 3rd or something like that.
So this is
That
who they're
might take a
thinking is going to be the guy?
Whoever becomes the Pope,
Yeah.
it's storied that it will be the last Pope
Oh.
because there is a ring in the Vatican above the Bastilla that goes around that has a hole for a picture of each of the popes, and there's only one place for one more picture, and it has always been said that when that Pope, whoever gets the last picture, once that Pope dies, it will be Judgment Day, and the Earth will
And
come to ruination.
how old is this Pope?
Well, we don't know yet. We don't know what who the next Pope will be.
They'll just remodel and
So
start
like if
anew.
he comes in at like 80, like we're a good shy 2 years.
Yeah,
To the
Yeah.
world.
And there is one that they're
Done.
looking at that is 80.
Thank
Like, it's
God,
like-
dude, man. If that's it, look, guys, brothers, listen, man. If it's coming, good.
Yeah.
I will sit in my fucking yard in a lawn chair naked,
Yeah.
And
not
just
give a
watch it.
shit. Just
I
like,
mean,
come on.
The Aztec calendar cycle ended
Yes.
in the year 2012. I mean,
Yeah, that year I was really felt weird sitting naked in my front yard. I was like, oops, I guess it didn't happen.
What's
I
wrong on
just
this
sit
one again?
naked in my front yard all the time now because
Just in case.
we're watching the end of an empire, as the United States crumbles, and I'm like, yes, front row,
Front row seats.
arrest me.
That's why everybody gets nervous about stuff like that. I'm like, but think about it. You're getting to witness something that no other generation has ever witnessed, and that's the mushroom party that's headed our direction in a few years.
We're watching the
and you're
end,
excited about that?
the end of democracy, the end of a.
You want me to answer
An
that
empire.
honestly?
What about a mushroom party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm in.
I'm on the Mannered team.
High five.
Flush it all away.
High
I'm
five
sick of
over
this
here,
place.
Matt. Come on,
I'm sick
don't
of
leave
it.
me hanging. I'm in.
You know what? El Paso reminded me. Driving into El Paso,
Just seeing it come, you just like,
Remind me of post-apocalyptic world. It was a lot like the edges of El Paso was like Borderlands. I kept saying that. I felt
Sure.
like I'm looking at all the shit in Borderlands.
Yeah.
For a hero.
That's the opening song from the first game.
Oh,
What's that?
Borderlands.
Sweet pipes, bro.
yeah, but
Short Chain
that's what I
Cherub.
kept
That's the name
telling
of the
Susan.
song.
I was like, I feel like I'm in Borderlands, but then it was also very post-apocalyptic. Like, you know, that's
was
what the
also
world's going to
making-
look like.
I mean, yeah.
A lot like El Paso.
A lot like El
Yeah.
Paso. Yes. Yeah.
And then what was weird was you get like 3 or 4. El Paso was strange because it was like we were pulling in on 199 going through, Springtown and Azle and Lake Worth. And then all of a sudden you hit this next light and you're in Frisco. Everything was nice and brand new
Yeah.
Yeah.
and shiny and chained and all this stuff. And I was like, how the hell did that happen? How do we go from...
That's the way Brownwood, I thought, was in off of 370 or whatever. Is it Brownwood that's off of 377?
It is.
Yeah.
We go out there and play all the time.
At Hardin Simmons?
No,
Or,
the Wild Duck.
Oh,
On the
downtown?
lake out there.
Yeah.
No, the one on,
Oh, on
the
the lake.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah.
But Brownwood's, yeah, it's like that.
But Brownwood,
Yeah.
no, Brownwood's
a
not
lot of little towns
not
like
that
that.
fancy. This went from
Like to plush.
like shithole to now all the buildings are the same color. Everything is neat and nice. And
Yeah.
here's your Starbucks. Here's your Dutch Bros. Here's your Home Depot. It was all super nice, just like you were just pulling through Frisco.
I
Here's your
totally
little
think
high-rise stuff.
that
It's
we
like-
went through a portal. I swear to God. This was in Missouri.
Yeah, we're an alternate timeline. Yeah.
I think we went through one in Missouri. And I'll tell you why. Because we were in St. Louis, we came down to Cape Girardeau, and we were cutting over to Tulsa. And we came across, and we're in the middle of fucking nothing. Farmland. Just nothing. There's nothing. There's no town coming up. Even on Google, it's like on maps, it was saying you go, got 180 miles to go. Like it was like there was no next town coming up. And I'm looking on the map because I was trying to figure out like what fucking town are we in? It's like we came across a movie set. Like that we weren't supposed to be at. And we're on a main drag. There's no road to turn. All of a sudden, we go through this. There's like a tree line coming, and we went through it. And all of a sudden, it was like, remember those the light posts that were like they had the 5 or
Yeah.
the 4 lights. It was like 3 here and 1 on top.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
on every driveway, all the way down. All the houses were pristine. Every yard was perfectly mowed. Got down to this town square. It was a little town square. There was a little church on the corner. It was maybe a mile and a half long total. And we went straight through it. And I slowed down to like 20. No person, nobody, no cars, no nothing. There was nobody there. We didn't see a single. I'm like, everyone's like, where the fuck are we? We're all looking on the maps. I'm like, dude, we're in the middle of nowhere. We're in the middle of nothing. There's nothing here. Like we're almost to the Ozarks. Like there's nothing here. And we're cruising. I'm like, dude, are you guys looking around? Like we pull over in the town. Right there at the town square and just to stretch a leg. And I'm like, listen, there's nobody here. There's no one. This is a personless town.
Were you in Oz? I mean,
We
tornadoes do
still
roll
don't
through
fucking
there.
know. And
pick
that's
you up.
all that was like 9 years ago. That's always stayed with me. Like, what the fuck did we go through in the
Did
middle
you
of
flag
nothing?
it?
You
Poke
think
it?
maybe it was a training ground for military
No,
or something?
We
or
didn't.
Police?
I didn't. Because I'm kind of like when you didn't video Marfa lights.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
sitting
just
there
so
and
blown
baffled.
away.
Like, the fuck did we just go? We got to the Ozarks and got into or down in the. I can't remember. I think we were going to Fort Smith? That's on 40. It's Arkansas, which is right on the edge of Arkansas, Oklahoma. It wasn't Tulsa. We were going towards that direction. Then we went south and we came down through like Pig Trail and whatnot. But the whole trip has stuck with me after that. I was like, where are we? You know what I mean? But that's kind of like what you're
Maybe
talking
you were
about.
on the back end of the wormhole from the Bermuda Triangle.
I felt like we were on the Truman
Maybe.
Show.
Could
Like,
have been
this
that.
Like it just
is
dumped
right
you
out
on
of
a
the
set.
Truman. Like,
Very
seriously.
or Lost. Could have been on
Something.
the land of the black
Something.
smoke.
It's crazy. I mean, it happened. I don't know what it was. We don't know where it is. I even talked to like Darren, my buddy who lives in Cape Girardeau. I was like, do you know of any town down this way that's like this? He's like, no, I don't know of any. I know these little towns.
Wasn't
you'd see
there a
that.
city up in like
mushrooms? Did you have a lot of Arkansas mushrooms?
No, but I've got a bag now. If anybody's
what?
interested.
Wasn't there a place in like Ohio or somewhere where a whole town just disappeared? Haven't we talked about that on the show before? I feel like there's some place up in like Oregon or Midwest or one of the O states.
There's that one that they evacuated and pretty much left everything behind, left all their houses and stuff. You can go up there and it's still neighborhoods, but it had to do with the mines. A mine caught on fire, I think is what it was.
So
it was basically burning.
Underneath it.
Underneath the town.
And the entire town was ordered to leave.
Yeah, they were all ordered to
evacuated
because it was toxic and everything.
That's right. I remember hearing about that.
And it's still burning or something.
That happened in
like
the 70s or something? It was several
There
decades.
was a movie that they made on that was talking about that town, but I can't remember the name.
Everybody just had to up and ban it. I know a bunch of photographers go up there and do because the
But it's
roads
cool.
the roads to it, like they've tried to erase like several hundred yards of the roads leading up to the town, and blocked them off and stuff, so that way it looks like the town never existed. But a lot of people live around there know, and the photographers have gone up there and.
Matt, you're in realty, right?
Yes. Need to buy a house.
Have you looked into to see if the abandoned neighborhoods in Detroit, around Detroit, have started popping back up?
No,
because supposedly Motor City's coming back.
The Packard plant, they've started doing stuff around. I've heard.
You know what I've heard is the Space City down in Brownsville is about to be huge. Like apparently there's all these new jobs and stuff. It's like with SpaceX, and they're developing like a whole community based around space. And there's like all these enthusiasts and employees of SpaceX are moving down there.
I did see the thing that Elon's working on about the nuclear defense system. Did you see this thing with satellites?
Like Star Wars Part 2?
Kinda.
War games,
like it's
Empire Strikes Back.
It's going completely around the Earth.
But Star Wars,
it's a complete defense system. Like if
that's what he's really setting up with Skylink, and he's just not telling people the truth.
I want to talk about that for a second.
Here we go.
Because that was something else that happened.
Bunch of Starlink sightings.
Saw Starlink?
Saw Starlink.
Cool.
And I'm not, out there when the sun sets, you can see satellites very well. You can see a bunch of them.
It's amazing when you get out of the city. There's this thing called non-pollution.
Non-light pollution. Yeah.
No light pollution, nothing. But the sun is setting. It's already the ball itself has set, so you're in the dusk. And the way the light's hitting is it can hit the satellites, so you can see them move over. Because satellites don't have lights on them. Well, we're sitting there at Mule Ears, at the viewing area, like the second night we were there. And we look up and we see a satellite come by. And then all of a sudden, about 10 degrees behind it is another satellite. And then 10 degrees behind it is another one. And 10 degrees behind it's another one. And they just keep spawning from the west, and they're going east. And we lost count at like 40 or 50 of them. It was just one long chain. We're like, what the hell? It's Starlink. We knew it was Starlink, I took pictures, and you can see the streaks in the picture I took.
It makes you wonder if there's like we have road maps, we have highway maps, that kind of thing. Like, do they have between our government and other governments? So they say, okay, in these paths you can fly these satellites, but we got to put them in to where they don't crash.
Well, and the thing with
Starlink, they're not just throwing them up. They're going, good luck, buddy.
They're all low orbit, and like the first generation Starlinks, what I read on some article was that a bunch of them have already retired.
Yeah,
and have fallen out of the sky. And people just think they're meteors or whatever. They burn up. They're little bitty, but they're so low orbit that as their time passes, they can just knock them back in the atmosphere and they burn up. So the next night, I'm like, okay. Next night, I set up. First 2 nights down there, I couldn't set up a camera because first night it was cloudy. Second night, we got an alert on our phones that said, dust storms incoming. Pull over, seek shelter. If you're in a car, pull over, turn your lights off, be ready, whatever. I've never been in a real deal Holyfield dust storm that you can see that is the cloud is coming at you and it's several 100 to 1,000 feet tall.
I remember you talking
as
about
it's rolling in. I've never been in something like that, and it swamped everything after I was shooting. So the third night,
Goddamn Mel Gibson.
We got to see the Starlink before the dust storm hit. So the third night, like, okay, setting up. I'm like, let's see if we can see Starlink again. And sure enough, they had dropped in longitude and had spaced further apart in that 24-hour time period. But you could still see them. They were all still in a line together flying.
That's gnarly.
It's very interesting, and it I can see there's been a bunch of photographers bitching about it because it screws up astrophotography hardcore.
Sure.
Like you set up and you're doing a long time lapse on something, then all of a sudden you have
you
lines.
See the Earth turn.
You know,
yeah.
Because I got a tracker and I did some tracking shots, but I made sure it wasn't until later, once you couldn't see any satellites. But yeah, it was very weird. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Does everybody really need internet everywhere all the time?
I know a buddy, a fellow musician, TJ Broskoff, who lives out in Bridgeport, and the only thing they get out there is Spectrum. And it's garbage for internet.
So did he go to
And
Starlink?
so he got Starlink because he's like, well, he's got a YouTube page that he runs where he goes out. It's called Trimmer Trails, and he goes out with his truck, and he does all these trails, and he's enjoying it, man. And he's sponsored and all this stuff, but he got the full package where he could have internet at his house, he could have internet on the go 24/7, right? And I said, well, how is it? He goes, well, I can play Call of Duty from my truck in the middle of the Mexico desert. I was like, okay, well, there's something to that, I guess.
The times I have used it, because we went camping at this place east of Dallas, middle of nowhere. There's no internet, no nothing anywhere near it. But the guys that run this piece of property, they had Starlink out there. We're like, okay, we've got it set up and anybody can connect to it. I was really impressed with the speeds on it. I was like, this is pretty damn cool.
I mean, it is, dude.
It's pretty awesome. Now I've got a coworker that has a place up in Oklahoma on some land, and he's got it up there on his trailer, but he's got cameras set up everywhere. He's like, I can stream all these cameras real time, no problem, through my Starlink.
That's pretty dope.
Oh, sorry.
And he said the same thing. He's like, when I go up there, I take the Xbox and we stream everything through the Xbox. No problem.
So we use EVMux when we do the podcast to stream on, and then like we're remote.
Yeah.
So we don't have enough big enough room to get into like this. So Craig will be at his house. I'm here. You know, we do. But we've talked about doing it remotely, like getting out and like you did with this, and being able to set up and go live stream, because a lot of our stuff is live streaming. You know, we get most of our interactions coming in from the live stream. We do Q&As with the crowd and stuff like that, horror movie trivia.
Yeah.
But I got to have some serious internet to keep that connection going. And it's been talked about, like, but I mean, we're not doing Pair Theory for money, so it's not really, you know, we're not making any money off it.
It's not cheap.
No, it's not.
It's not cheap at all.
No, it's not.
And I do like you can, because I actually, my cousin and I, Jeremy, we talked about getting it for this trip, and
what's it?
I was like, the good thing is the hardware is was like $250, $300 for the hardware, and then monthly, I can't remember what it is, but you can turn it on and off anytime you want. So you know that's a good thing, being able to turn it on and off. But I don't know, all these satellites up in the sky, and just watching this train of satellites go over.
If they are doing a defense system like that, though, I mean, that's pretty gnarly. I mean, that kind of just.
I mean, what if they're already up there?
It could be.
That's what I was thinking.
Usually, by the time we hear about it, it's already there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, and the other thing.
By the way, we have Star Wars Part 2.
Listening to No Agenda.
Initiated.
I think it was No Agenda, or maybe it was.
It's the coolest thing ever.
It's the greatest missile defense ever.
No, I think it was Joe Rogan with Tim Dillon. They were talking about the defense system that Elon wants to do, and he wants to charge a subscription service. So the government would have to pay a subscription service to be able to have access to the defense system.
Listen, man, that's just genius, though. You can't fight that. Like, it's like, okay, I came up with an idea. It's working.
It'll protect you.
It'll protect you, and you pay a subscription to it.
And then you get all these different countries paying for the subscription service to the same system, and everybody's protected.
Yeah.
Then it's peace on earth.
Until somebody just what if they're late?
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
Sorry. Yeah, you find out.
Just don't put Joe Biden in charge of it. He'd be asleep.
We're
He
sorry,
wouldn't- he wouldn't
Turkey.
remember where he shot it to.
Jeez.
What was it, F1 or F4?
One of those.
Tell me where it lands.
It was one of
Turkey,
those.
you're 3
Bring us
months
corn pop.
delinquent.
They get
Joe,
called by
they
a
made their
collector.
payment. Oh.
This is 30 days.
well,
You're 30 days
We'll
late.
send them some ice cream.
You definitely don't want to roll over into a 60-day delinquency.
It's weird, but it is genius. I mean,
It goes up megaton per collection status.
I
Like
think-
30 day, 60 day, 90 day, your megaton goes up.
I think one thing that like bugs me about society today is that people come up with like, okay, a lot of people are entrepreneurs, and then there's people that aren't entrepreneurs,
yeah.
right? So the entrepreneurs are coming up with newer and better ways to do things, etc. And then so some guy comes up with a great idea that is not hurting anyone, and they're like, oh, that's fucking terrible. No, fuck him. He's a horrible person for doing that. I'm like, it literally saves you gas, or it helps you drive better, or
Now that's where
You know what I mean?
I'm
Like-
drawing the line. Is subscription service for features on a vehicle
oh yeah,
aggravates
Yeah.
the shit out of me.
For
That's
driving,
stupid.
for
Yeah,
driving.
for driving,
for
That-
driving. But
Yeah.
let's just say for entertainment purposes.
But I'm not paying $10 extra a month for
Heated seats.
or
Oh.
or
Jinx, you owe me a Coke, both of you.
Tesla. How much is it a month
There's a
for
fridge.
the auto driving?
I don't know.
You have to
the,
pay for it to be
or the
put in
cameras
there.
all the
Now
way
you have to
around
do
it.
Now hold on a second. Now listen. The fact that Elon is coming up with a bus, all right, a bus that'll have a towing capacity of 18,000 pounds, all right, and will be able to go
What
from
do you-
Fort Worth to California on one charge. Like this is a thing that's being talked about.
But if that thing gets in a wreck and catches on
If
fire,
that thing
it's going to
dri- if you-
burn for
wait
2
a minute,
months.
Wait a minute. If this thing doesn't run on battery like is being talked about, it's
Oh,
not-
what's it being run on?
It's going to be
Hydrogen,
like,
maybe?
like
Nuclear.
I don't know. I don't know, but he is the
Then you turn into speed.
the water concept has come around a couple times,
Yeah.
and it was like, well, that's already been done, and then the big three took that dude out back in 1981,
Yeah.
82,
I know
right?
about that. Yeah.
So now Elon's like, I'm rich enough that I don't have to be taken out. That dude had nothing, and they made him go away by paying him off.
Yeah.
I'll turn you guys bitch about the battery. Cool. Well, I'm gonna do it with water. Okay. But his first big investment is he's gonna do a bus with this that can carry families.
In.
I'm
That would
in.
be cool.
I'm in.
That
You know how
would be
many, I can't wait till that happens, and then all the naysayers of Tesla are going like, okay, well, wait a minute. You mean I can put a garden hose in my okay, I'm in. You know.
My naysaying has just been how.
But what I was getting at about the app, the auto drive.
Yeah.
They create a bus that drives itself, and I get to tour with my band and just crawl up in that thing and go boop, 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 and go to sleep. I'm in.
You'd have to pay for a driver.
No.
As long as it doesn't hit a patch
Negative.
of black ice.
Yeah.
It's all right. The bus should have seen it coming. If the people are trusting it to drive and they're passing that as a thing, that this thing trusts to drive, well, okay. I mean, you kind of are when you I haven't read it. I'd love to see the fine print, like when you download that app and it's driving your car, who's responsible if the car wrecks? I want to know. I don't know what that fine print is for Tesla.
It's not going to be Tesla.
Well, no.
They're too smart to have it to where they would take.
I agree. But if the car malfunctions and just flies into somebody, there's got to be something there. It can't just fall to the driver. Oh, well, he was asleep. He should have been driving.
Think about DWIs.
There is in the writing. There always has to be someone behind the wheel to take manual control of it.
I wonder what kind of
case
litigation
things
has
are wrong.
happened with DWIs and stuff. Like how many
Correct.
cases are
Yes.
getting completely fought now because, hey man, I was in my Tesla car.
Yeah.
Like I had my keys were
The
in
courts
the
would say something like you were behind the wheel. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like back in 2006, I got a DUI for lack of sleep. I had woke up 15 minutes prior and got in my truck and went to drive home, and I got pulled over. It was like 15, 20 minutes. Literally woke up, got in the truck, started driving, and I got pulled over. And he was like, "Have you been drinking?" I was like, "No." Anyway, long story short, driving while intoxicated by lack of sleep.
Was it in Keller?
Yes, it was.
Goddamn killer cops.
Yep.
So,
Both
how
my
does it
DUIs
work?
were in Keller, but the second one I was shit faced.
Well,
I made him chase me around the truck. It was kind of funny.
Like
I'm
Dimeback?
not joking.
Like Dimeback did?
No, he was like
Benny
Justin,
Hill.
he knew who I was, and he was like, Justin, you're under arrest for DUI.
Dime was
I
in
gotta take you
cuffs, remember?
And he was doing this time where he's like pointing at his body cam. He's like, I can't do anything, man. You gotta turn around. I was like, beep, bop, boop, you're going to jail too. Like I was like, can I sit shotgun, bro? Let me go around here. And I was like, I was bad fucked up. But watching the footage of it was hilarious. I wish I could find it.
Did he also get a resisting arrest charge? For
No,
doing that?
no. I just said, hey, I got to shut my passenger door because you left it open, and I ran around. Then he chased me this way. I was like, "Oop, can't catch me!" And I went around. I was like, "I'm fucking with you. Just take me to jail, fuck, dude."
Okay.
Do we need the cuffs? I'll sit in the back. I'm fat. Don't put me back here. Like, can I sit shotgun? Like, it was a bunch of shit like that. Yeah, the judge laughed.
awesome.
The judge laughed on Monday morning. He was like, "Mr. Ross, okay." Like,
God.
I heard about you, sir. And I was like, I know. I'm sorry.
It's
I
not
did
good when the judge has heard about you before you even get in his court.
Yeah, like that was the joke going on at the jail. Like, this guy.
How does a DWI work with push button vehicles? If your keys aren't in the ignition, they're in your pocket.
Correct.
Yeah,
They're
if your
just sitting
fob's in the
vehicle.
floor, are you good?
Yeah, I don't know.
How does
That's
that
a good
work?
question.
I don't know.
We're gonna
I
have to
think
get
it falls to behind the wheel. I think
Dear Brian Wilson, the Law Hawk,
Yep.
we need you to come in.
We have questions.
Can you come over and hang out with us, please? Yep.
Best commercials ever.
That's what we're going to do. Huh. I have questions.
the Texas Hammer
That's Jim
Did you?
Adler.
And his son.
and his son, the
And his son?
secondary Hammer.
The second hammer. Yeah.
I'm surprised
They both
Jim
did
Adler
work
hasn't
together.
retired yet. He's still on
I'm
this damn
surprised you can-
commercials.
Carry a freaking hammer.
Do you remember the cheesy one where he was walking with a hammer and the fake fire blew up behind him and he was screaming at the camera?
Have you seen the?
Yes.
That was me.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Add fire in here.
The new one where the 18-wheeler gets hit by the wrecking ball cracks me up.
They're
It's so
standing on top of the
terrible.
18-wheeler.
And then he stands on top of it.
Yep, that's the one I saw.
That one cracks me
Gosh,
up.
we're terrible.
Look at me.
We'll get you exactly no money, but we will get paid.
We got another roast here sent to us.
Oh, boy.
From AI.
Yeah.
Play it. We'll read it.
It's the roast of Skip Redstone.
Oh, shit. Well, you've done a couple of these for me before.
Have we roasted? Skip?
Well, AI Google has. Yeah.
Oh,
In a fake
shit.
Working overtime.
Nah, it's not as funny then.
What's Chat GPT? Should we still go through it? Do you want us
We
to read
test it
Yeah,
and see
yeah,
if it's
do it.
funny?
Do it.
Skip Redstone, the kind of guy who thinks LinkedIn endorsements count as real life accomplishments.
He doesn't even have a LinkedIn page.
Skip looks like he peaked during a high school debate about Lord of the Flies and never emotionally recovered from getting second place. His idea of a power move is correcting people's grammar in group chats as if that ever made anyone charismatic.
Okay, that's true.
This is a man who brings up his fantasy football league performance like it's an
Nope.
NBA. Skip wears boat shoes with no boat, talks like he invented craft beer, and probably uses the phrase alpha energy unironically, while being the human equivalent of a beige filing captain.
Damn.
He's the type of guy who calls himself a thought leader because he reposted a Gary Vee video and added fire to the caption. If
The
mediocrity
hammer.
were an NFT, Skip would be the floor price.
Oh, shit, that's great.
That was pretty hardcore.
I
They
wanted
really
more
get
brutal.
into the feels, don't they? They really get into
AI, Chat GPT roasting's not brutal enough.
Mm-mm.
Although they did do a pretty good job of imagining them as humans. I posted that.
That was pretty interesting.
Are you guys
Watch
always
them
live
come
on YouTube or you?
Yeah, we're only live.
Yes.
Oh, well, fine.
I need to get that piece of software where we can spit it out everywhere. It'll
Yeah.
go live on
Eevee-Mux.
Facebook.
The
on,
link
EV
tree?
works.
No,
I'm
like
also
a
looking
link
at
tree type thing?
what is that? Crowdshare. What is it? StreamYard.
on Emu? Which one is it?
Eevee-Mux.
Eevee-Mux.
Yeah,
Okay.
it works out pretty
Yeah.
well. It's not bad.
I thought OBS
is
had
it a
that
fee?
capability. I didn't know.
it is. It's streaming. We were able to go across. We're on like 12 different Facebook pages, and then we share it to all the groups as well. And then it's on YouTube.
And it streams it across all of them. at
All of
once.
them. Yeah. We
How
give it
much?
so we do like an intro, like you guys do. Just let the intro play through.
Yeah.
But before we do, we run a warning. Like a warning label as it goes live.
Yeah.
and then we let that play for 30 seconds, so it gets through all the streaming process, BS, whatever. Then we let the deal run, and usually we can tell from that, from the intro, because we have like horror movies put into it that are saying stuff, and then it'll take it down if like AI recognizes it from Meta. It'll take it down, but we never have any problems with YouTube. But it's usually across Facebook we capture stuff that'll say like can't post on here, and then we'll shut down and we'll come back and it'll be fine.
Okay.
You know?
All right. So
check it out.
4 destination or 9 destination?
Is 9 cost and 4 is free?
EVMux.
Yeah, on EVMux.
Yeah, you can pay for the pro package or whatever it is.
There's basic or pro.
Yeah.
But we just need like the free one has 2 destinations, but 4 destinations would work great on the multi-stream. That's all we need.
Yeah.
All right.
The only reason we had the one where we could go across all is because we were going across like our sponsors pages and stuff for the band.
Yeah.
But we haven't done Blood in the Water in forever because we've been so busy. So by the time we get, usually on Tuesday nights when we do Blood in the Water.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten down to the point where it's like Tuesdays we're tired. So.
Does the intro go, blood on the water?
No.
The fires of the sky.
But that's a good idea though. I'm in.
Close, but no.
Close.
But no cigar.
Canada, huh? Almost made it.
So one of the things that was also announced in the past couple of weeks that we got to, besides the Pope death, which next week we need to get the list of viable popes and put our bets in.
I'm saying he's in Ghost right now. That's going to be the future Pope.
Father Amatorus or whatever the fuck is his name?
No, it's not Papa Emeritus. It's
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, they're calling him something else. My daughter's like hardcore into Ghost. You know that.
Are you going?
When's their tour date here?
I know you can't take any phones.
Yeah, I knew that.
It's like next month, I think.
Oh, is it?
In 2 months, yeah.
Isn't it at Dickies Arena? Yeah, it is.
Dickies.
Yeah.
They're going to give out tampons?
I don't know. Anyway, but I'm already taking my daughter to Guar next month.
Yeah.
In Albuquerque.
Drop them today, bro. Going to give out tampons?
Is it going to be a morning ladies show? Like Falling in Reverse or whatever the hell that was?
Very smells like cheap body spray and
fish.
Damn.
Sweat.
Axe.
Fish and pennies.
Sweat.
We got this guy named CJ
So
that's been coming on the road with us. He's literally just coming out as like a crew member, just to help out, load in, load out. Older dude, retired, just wants to go out and enjoy his retirement, right? He's like, hell yeah, man, he sounds like Hank Hill. Hell yeah,
man.
I'll just come on out and carry gear.
Yeah.
The other day, he's smoking in the truck. Smells like a damn pot farm in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I don't care if you smoke. Just don't do it in the van. He's like, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Pulls out some back spray. I'm like, well, don't spray that either. God, that's
he
terrible.
Came prepared.
He's like, it's cool mint, brother.
Cool mint.
God, dude.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Cool mint.
Cool.
What do you got coming up?
Cool mint.
Shows-wise, you got any?
Man, we had a good one last night. We played the pregame for the Stars last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That was a great one.
It was a good game.
Shit.
Yeah, and then so we found out today they were like, hey, we had a hell of a response from you guys, yada, yada. So we're playing the Avalanche on Thursday.
Uh-huh.
And if the Avalanche beat us, then they'll come back on Saturday and play back.
Yep.
So it's like, if we win on Thursday, it's a win, and we're all good, and then they move on to the next round. If we lose, it's still a win for me because I get to go play a show for them again on Saturday. Yeah.
I am. This first round sucks for me because I'm a fan of both teams. Yeah. I hate this whole division. It makes me crazy.
There were some people that went to the game up in Colorado, and they got, I guess, a band up there that was playing that thing.
Uh-huh.
Did something bad. I don't know what it was. I was like, well, I'll tell you what. And we just said it over the mic yesterday. We're like, anybody who's got a stub from that game, take it up to our merch booth, and it's buy one, get one. Pick something from the merch booth kind of deal. But May 10th, we'll be at Bartonville store up there north of Roanoke.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I have yet to check that out.
I think there's 72 tickets that have sold for that. It's 125 total, so we'll get there. And then, so, be a good one. Deadwoodfan.com. Check that out.
Well, if we don't have the game 7 here, right? It's game 7 on.
Yeah, if we play
it's Saturday.
Yeah, if Saturday comes, that'll be game 7.
So if you don't do game 7,
I'll be home.
We gotta do another game though in the next series.
That's what they said.
Okay.
Yeah, we would. So,
you can also know.
But the thing is, it's all up to the hockey gods at that point. Like even
I
last night's show wasn't booked until last week.
Well,
it was like, okay, we're definitely confirmed for that game. We're doing it. I was talking to the production guy out there, Mark Wade. You know him?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how do you get like contracted out for this? For like, even if they don't? He's like, well, I get a deposit. I'm like, well, that's good.
It's a whole weird thing.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
man.
and you can't plan anything.
No.
You hold your entire summer's on hold.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
Don't know.
Who was it that? It was UNT that screwed up. Didn't think they were gonna go to the Final Four, so they had already booked up. They were the home team.
Oh yeah.
God, I forgot what it was. But
Sounds
anyway,
like something UNT would do.
It just happened. They were like, oh, we never make it to any of the big stuff, so we'll go ahead and book up the arena for other shit. Well, they had to have the game on the neutral site.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Did you hear about everything that happened up there for that Boys from Oklahoma deal with Cross Canadian that happened up in Stillwater?
No.
So the stadium just was not prepared for that many people. And like supposedly like the porta johns were like flowing out of the top mounds of it and looked
shit.
Oh
Gross.
boy, yeah, people were just trekking in it.
Yikes!
There's a lot of people up there with glaucoma walking around. It was just like not good.
Yeah.
So-
not good.
Did
Gross.
People were like, hell yeah, man, CCR part 2.
But didn't
part 3.
Didn't they come out and say this wasn't going to be all we're going to do? We're now going to
So
do
they
more.
first came out that they were just getting back together for 1. Then it came out that they're going to do 2. Then it was 4. Then it was we're doing There was like
we're going to tour
people
the
were getting
Southwest.
upset because they spent so much money to go to this show, and then they were making appearances in other shows where they got up with their buddies and played a few songs from their set, and it was like,
That's why you never trust a guy named Cody.
damn, he's a good dude.
Nah, he's just a good dude.
He's a good dude.
Because I thought it was going to keep going on, and after all
I
this
guess
stuff.
they are going to continue to do shows. That's the consensus now. I don't know that for sure. I can be talking out my ass.
What if that's the secret band to show up at Fresh Street Fair? Do you know
Cross
what
Canadian?
Do you know Denton would implode?
Why do they even
this
call
MAGA
it
shit?
Fry Street
I
Fair
bet-
anymore, man?
I bet Fresh Street Fair, the secret man would probably be someone like Bowling for Soup.
Didn't they do it?
They used to do them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So this year we got
Always headlining. And then Reverend Horton Heat, when I was for a while, that he was always headlining.
Reverend.
yeah.
I think the Toadies did once,
Jimmy
didn't
Heat.
they?
Mm-hmm. So we got that was announced while we were gone on the
show?
22nd is the Fresh Street Fair.
Oh yeah.
Agent Orange headlining.
We got a friend playing in it.
We got several friends. The Infamous,
Yes.
Electric
Oh,
Church,
Oh, I found it.
the Methinks.
I
little
got
band called
another.
That's who I was talking about, Marlon.
Speaking
is
of
the
Denton,
Methinks.
I got the roast of Denton from AI
Oh, you do?
from ChatGPT.
Well, since we're talking about Fresh Street, this may be a good place to put
segue.
it in.
All right.
Who else? Let's see here, real quick. Brave Combo,
Is-
Said the People, Superhero.
Jesus Christ.
No, but they
You-
say there's
oh
a
my
special
gosh,
guest
man.
announcement coming soon,
Could be them.
and I think
With
it's
the
going to
Nixons?
be. I think I'm going to throw it out there that it's Cross Canadian Ragweed.
They wouldn't do it. When is the Fresh Street Festival?
It's in 2 weeks, I think.
It
they're-
wouldn't be this.
I'm
soon.
saying
No,
it's
it wouldn't be.
Jesus Christ.
the
coming back.
Nixons, since they just released a new record.
Yep.
They're going to be like, we're coming back.
And they
Cross
used to
Street
always
Fair."
play Groovy Mule, and then before that, they played Rick's all the time. So I could definitely see it being Jesus Christ.
All right, you take the Nixons. I'll take every other band. That'll be the
Okay.
bet. I'll be the casino in this
The casino.
bet lineup.
We should just start wagering on bands.
Or
It's funny that
Who's
this
playing
post
where?
For
is
now
made
on.
from.
at the drive-in.
Our whole show's
Denton-
about gambling on bands.
It's made from Denton Around Towners is the name of the Facebook post. page. So I had ChatGPT roast the city of Denton. Enjoy. Oh, Denton, Texas. The town that thinks it's Austin's weird little cousin, but forgot to grow up or glow up. It's like someone tried to build a cultural hotspot, got halfway through, got distracted by a vape cloud, and then just slapped a thrift store and a vegan taco truck next to a dive bar and called it a day. The music scene? Sure.
Sure.
If you love watching 43-year-olds in skinny jeans play the same 3 chords while blaming capitalism for their rent being late.
Sure.
Denton's idea of nightlife is arguing about craft beer over a game of who's more ironic in a bar that smells like armpit and regret. And the traffic. How does a town this small have congestion? Y'all got 2 main roads and somehow both are under construction, have a wreck, and are blocked by a slow-ass truck with a Keep Denton Beard bumper sticker on it. Let's not forget UNT, where half the students are either in a band, a drum circle, or somehow both.
True.
and
100%
the
true.
other half are just trying to find parking before their soul gives out. Denton, where dreams go to gentrify, fail, and get turned into a mural nobody asked for.
Damn. Brutal.
Dude,
Denton.
ChatGPT. Good Lord.
Well, I got one here.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome to Paratheory.
Oh, God, here we go. Yes.
The show where every creaky floorboard is a ghost, every blurry shadow is a demon, and every episode is held together by duct tape, caffeine, and the power of overactive imagination.
Yes.
Hosted by a crew that looks like they got lost on their way to a Spirit Halloween employee orientation.
This is very true.
Paratheory dives into the supernatural with the scientific rigor of a drunk raccoon with a K2 meter.
Yes.
Their investigations involve high-tech equipment like EMF detectors, digital voice recorders, and absolutely zero skepticism. You know the vibe. Dim flashlights, shaky camera work, and someone whispering, "Did you hear that?" every 45 seconds. The only thing more haunted than their location is their editing software.
Damn.
We're just talking about Opus.
Yeah.
This is everything you've talked against so far, this entire show. So
It is.
they'll spend 20 minutes explaining how a cold spot proves the existence of another realm, but skip over the fact that they're standing next to an open window in January. And the theories? Oh, the theories. Ancient aliens, government cover-ups, haunted trunk stops. Basically anything except maybe it was the wind. But somehow it's entertaining, like watching your conspiracy-loving cousin try to ghost hunt with a vape pen in a dream. It's chaotic, it's absurd, and weirdly, you keep watching. In the end, Paratheory just isn't a paranormal podcast. It's a full-on seance for your attention span. Whether you believe it or not, one thing's for sure, the real mystery is how they keep getting views.
Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
That's pretty good.
F
That
you
is.
too, ChatGPT.
That is pretty
How
good.
dare you be so
ChatGPT.
truthful?
That's great.
Oh, man.
Who would have thought robots roasting humans would be hilarious?
Because there's nothing we can do to fight back.
There is
We're
nothing.
done.
Nothing
Nope.
we
It's
can-
over.
I mean, we can't even pull their plug because we don't even know where it's at.
I feel like
They
a scene
spread
out
out
of,
too
I
far.
feel like a scene out of like Trailer Park Tammy. What's her, where she's like, all right, cool. It's off. What the hell is that? Is this a new toy?
It's a pinball machine, a digital pinball machine. Yeah,
Digital pinball machine.
it works very well though. It feels realistic. Yeah, I was updating the software and it just said, "Oh, we can't do it right now."
Does it make all the noises?
Uh huh.
That's sweet.
Go in there and whatever. We'll have it play in the background. You'll start
No
hearing it.
way.
It'll start sounding like an arcade here in a second.
Whoa. Whoa.
Matt, remember when we said we needed to get cowboy hats?
Mm-hmm. Did you get one?
I got one in Marfa.
Yeah, let's break it out, man. Put it on.
I didn't bring it.
I saw the picture of
dude,
you
you
wearing
gotta
it
be-
at that bar.
I got
on your
me.
trip.
I got me a
It's like a
Stetson
straw.
Open Road.
Yeah?
One that I've been looking
Wait a minute.
forever.
Pause. Fuck the Marfa lights in your cowboy hat. You went to a bar in Marfa? I want to know about this.
Yeah, they got a couple badass ones.
Okay.
The Lost Dog, or the Lost Dog Saloon is going to reopen as something else. That's the one that if you watch the Anthony Bourdain episode of No Reservation that he went to, that had the baby goat in it.
Okay.
But there's several, and the Marfa Spirits Company is where we went. That's a good joint.
All right.
A bunch of people in there that spoke Portuguese and Swedish or something. I don't know what was going on. It was very weird. They looked very
big Korean roofing companies.
That wasn't any Korean roofing companies.
Not that you know of.
Every time I've been to Marfa, though, they've been protesting something else.
Really?
Yeah. So first time the protest was Adobe. Because Adobe is life. Adobe is the way things should be. And everything out there should be made with Adobe. And that's what they want.
Oh, not like Adobe software.
No, not
Okay.
the software
I was
company.
like,
Not
wow, this is
Photoshop.
weird.
They weren't pissed at Photoshop.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Or
fuck you, Premiere Pro.
Premiere or After Effects or
get the fuck out of here, After
Animator.
Effects. You're fucking up our town. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The last time it was against
Just met her.
the Marfa Spirits Company where we drank at because they were making Sotol in the spirit company in the place, and that is it's supposed to be made in Mexico, and it's supposed to be made the old world way by old Mexican men that only know the recipe and hand it down
the machismo way.
Some of them, when they die, the recipe's gone. You can no longer get that Sotol. So that was the last time. That was the big protest. And then the time now, they're protesting El Cosmico because El Cosmico's moving. And they're moving out to where the fancy part, where all the artists are building all their fancy houses on the east side of Marfa, and they're doing a bunch of 3D printing of buildings and houses and stuff.
What's wrong with 3D printing?
No, these people just don't want El Cosmico and the shit it brings around their houses and their private property.
Oh.
That seems to be the
El
argument.
Cosmico is the company that's 3D printing houses?
El Cosmico is the big hotel, the place you can stay out there that's got the teepees and the domes and the old
What do they call those
motor
teepee?
homes
They
and
call
the
them
tents.
something else. What is it called? The teepee homes?
Oh.
There's a name for
But
them.
they have all the different things you can
Like
stay
glamping?
in.
No, it's not teepees. It's
glamping.
It's a hotel, but it's not really because you stay in tents. They have
Right.
safari tents. They have teepees. They have the
Get
yurts.
off my lawn, hippie.
Yeah, a bunch of Airstreams, a bunch of old
RVs
and stuff. Well, they're leaving where they're at now, and they're building a whole new area that has. They're supposed to be moving everything over there, plus these 3D buildings and houses and stuff. They've started.
Because the 3D homes are like basically Adobe.
Yeah. So
the whatever it is that they're pouring out to make the tracing the home.
That concrete substance.
So
yeah.
we
I've
drove
seen
out.
videos of it.
We drove out to where the new El Cosmico is to kind of look at it. And when we came back, we ate at this badass sandwich place. It's right there in town, Pivra, something like that. I can't remember. But as we were sitting there eating, these three other guys are in there, and they have these shirts on that say they're 3D. It's a 3D printing company, and I can't remember what it's called right now. I got a picture in my phone. So Andrew walks over and starts talking to him, and is like, "Hey, y'all printing all the stuff at El Cosmico?" And they're like, "No, we're printing new homes here in the neighborhoods." And he's like, "Really?" And talking back and forth, the guy's like, well, "We're about to start printing in about 30 minutes. If you guys want to come over and check it out, you can." So we got done eating and went over and watched them start. They're 3D printing individual walls in different spots. Watching the robot mark everything, and then they have to get the material just right as it comes through the little laser spout. But the robot lines everything up and everything, and it's huge. And then the pour starts going through it, and it's hauling ass building these walls. and the stuff dries in minutes. Cures.
Really?
Super fast.
Wow.
And so it builds it, and it's hollow, and as it's going up, they lay little pieces of rebarb in there and wire, and then they come back and they pour concrete in the center of everything.
Oh, shit.
It's like a honeycomb.
And then-
Amazing.
and so after the
It was
wall is built, then
so
that's when they
cool.
put up like the drywall, like the frame on the inside, and build up the drywall and everything. What about on the outside? They're just bricking it up on the outside.
No, it's just Adobe on the outside. Looked like it. They'll clean it up. And he said that like the inside will be modular, so they'll come in and they've got everything fitted right, and they've got areas for windows and stuff. It was really, really cool to talk to the guy. We talked to the guy for like
Is it more
20 minutes.
cost efficient to do that than building a home?
So a
brick
2,000
and
square
mortar,
foot
yeah.
home
Yeah.
needs one split unit window AC unit. That's it. It will stay temperature controlled, cool and warm all year round with one split window
That'd
unit.
be nice at my house right now. My bedroom is hot, so we put a window unit in.
So this is
Oh my God, that's how fast it's going?
yeah,
Holy shit.
it's fast as shit as it was going up. And they do like 3 walls a day. And this is not, I've seen them on TV. Like the other company that's out there doing the El Cosmico stuff, they kind of do it in a circle.
Yeah.
I've
and
seen those
just
too.
keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
And it turns into like a beehive looking thing.
Yeah.
These guys are making full blown houses because it's separate walls
Yeah.
and looks way cooler.
That's crazy. And so after that stacks up, then they pour the concrete down the center of it and make
Yeah.
like basically a concrete post in the center.
So
Yeah,
I don't
that-
know. Oh, it's
that's
in
pretty
this
cool.
one. You can see where the machine did some drop right here on this side. This doesn't work for the podcast at all, but the guy handed me a piece of that drop of the concrete that he's shoveling off right there. And by the time he shoveled it over, came over and picked it up and handed it to me, it was already dry.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And so the town is protesting this?
No, the town is
They're protesting
the El Cosmico
Yeah,
stuff.
okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
El Cosmico, they have concerts out there. They have that Love Festival, big music festival every year out there in West Texas. That's really cool. They bring in all sorts of people. And the thing against them is the people that live out there just don't want all that riffraff around them. They bought all this land to be away and to have beautiful views of these mountains and stuff, and now El Cosmico's about to junk up these people's backyard.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what happens, right?
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Your place isn't going to be serene forever.
Tell you one thing we've been struggling with, man, is booking agents. Just trying to get,
Anyone.
speaking of festivals out in towns, shit like that, just trying to get on festivals and whatnot. But, dipping back into the music world here, like, we're trying to plan a tour up through Colorado.
Yeah.
And we got dates already set to be up there through the 7th. So right now we're at the turning point of the 8th is a Monday. We know that the 8th and 9th we're going to be off, but we're looking for like the 10th through the 13th of September. We're trying to go up to like Wyoming, hit Montana, come back across Nebraska, etc. Dude, it is getting ridiculously hard to just get anybody to answer you back. Just answer me back.
Does it seem like no one cares?
100%. We had one dude, I'm not going to say names, but we had one dude that was like, "Are you on the top 100 of Texas?" And we were like, "No." And they were like, "Well, then you're not playing my venue." I was like, "You're in," I'm not even going to say the state, but he was in another state. I was like, "You're in another state." Well, that's all we play here. I'm like, "Well, then you must be let down constantly, because even the people that are in the top 100 aren't pulling crowds."
Yeah.
It just goes back to like taking the mentality.
Why
of
didn't you
growth.
just hit him back up for top 100 pay then? Say, yeah, but
Sure.
you want to give us top 100 pay?
Never mind that we were number 28.
Say, I want
on
to
the
source the funds too.
I told him, I was like, never mind that we were number 28 on the U.S. Americana chart. That's way
Disrespectful, man.
bigger than the Texas chart.
Did you throw that out there?
I did. I was like, no, but we were number 28 on the U.S. Americana chart.
What'd he say?
And he was like, well, we don't play Americana. I was like, if you're playing Texas country bands,
Playing Americana.
You're playing
you're playing Americana.
Yeah.
we don't push to the Texas country radio because we're not considered Texas country. We're considered Americana. We're in between the fields of like Mumford and Sons and Dave Matthews, right? So that's where we fit.
Yeah.
But we're not pushing to Texas country radio because we're not red dirt music. Yeah.
Well, you don't need to play New Mexico anyway.
Yeah.
Just trying to guess.
No. No.
What about towns like that? To come back down, like hitting Red River and Taos and stuff.
Would love to. Give me an answer back.
No one.
Dude, it's just ridiculous. I think in the
Are
last
there places to play?
In the last 2 months, we've hit up probably 30 for Colorado, 6 for Wyoming, 8 for Montana. We've hit up, but we're trying to stay up Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, come over to the Dakotas, come down to Nebraska, then work our way down to Iowa, Kansas, come down through Missouri, come back home. They're just not answering. And then so you're like, who does your booking? No answer. How can I get a hold of somebody? Some of them come back, we don't do in-house booking. Okay, who does your booking? No answer.
Remember that?
It's like, dude, Jesus Christ, the snobbiness of it is just like drives me nuts.
Remember that catalog that used to come out every year, the Musicians Atlas?
Yeah, I know that.
Do they not have that anymore?
Like
That's what I was wondering if they still had that.
There was the Texas Musicians Guide.
There was a Musicians Atlas that would show you like everywhere that was cool to play across the U.S.
Oh, that's cool.
And had connections and phone numbers and everything, and how to get a hold of people booking different places. But I'd flip through it and look at it, but I always wondered if it was true. Like it was work, because you could get it at Barnes and Noble for, it was like $40 for the thing.
I think you got a copy if you're in the music union too.
You should look it up and see if it's on Amazon.
If you were in the Texas Musician Union, weren't you in that, Thomas?
Only for a year. It didn't really give me any benefits. So
the only benefit it would do, Texas Musicians Union, I think the only thing it did was like if your instrument got stolen and you didn't have insurance.
Yeah, they did.
They would help you out with that. You know what I mean? Or like Bob, our bass player, he's a classical music teacher. He teaches upright. So like if we go over to, but this isn't Texas music. It's like some sort of deal with schooling. But like we're planning a deal for Ireland to go over, and instead of flying his bass over, he's picking one up from Trinity College over there in Dublin.
Okay.
So like that union helps him.
Go look at the Book of Kells while you're in there.
Man, I've been there. I've seen it. That room is just
weird,
fucking real.
Yeah.
As soon as you get up to the top of the stairs and you just see that fucking
yes.
Of course, they tell you like no phones, blah blah blah. I was like bullshit. I FaceTime my wife. I'm like, check this shit out. Look at this. Oh my god.
Don't take any pictures. What did I do? Take pictures.
Oh,
right
absolutely.
It's like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
First time I've ever seen a book made out of human flesh. That was kind of awesome.
I had a weird dream last night.
Like the Necronomicon?
That we moved to Ireland. I would move in a heartbeat.
I would too.
100%. So if they
Rosie's
said right
there.
now, like,
Hang
you
out
want to
with
go?
Rosie.
Yep, I'm in. Let's go.
If all my family ties and stuff weren't here, I'd be
100%.
I got a cousin over there that moved over there years ago. Well, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And has no thoughts of ever moving back.
Totally.
He's like,
dude, I spent 2 weeks over there. So I've spent a total of 4 weeks total. I've been there twice. Spent 2 weeks each time, and every time I'm just like, dude, I don't want to leave. I just want to call the old lady and be like, sell everything, get on a plane. I'll meet you here. I'll have living taken care of by the time you get here.
That was one of the first trips that I had been on where when I left, I immediately got home and was like, I'm ready to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no downtime, no, I need to rest or anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm ready to go back and
Totally.
do more because it was just everything was so cool.
I think it's funny. Some of like the local stuff there, like people will apologize for just about everything, and I didn't realize it until I was in like a little grocery store there. Like they don't have Walmarts, they don't have Costco's, they don't have anything like that. It's like all little shops. Right. And if you're, I'm a big dude, I'm walking through there and they're like, oh, sorry, I was in your way. Sorry, I was this. I'm like, man, you guys apologize more than Canada. This is ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, I'm like, you're fine, man. You're fine. No, you're fine. No, I'm sorry. Did I do something wrong? Like, I mean, it's just, but it's funny, but the people are awesome.
Everybody apologized to me. British Airways lost my luggage going over there. So for 3 days, I didn't have luggage. And everybody apologized that I didn't have my luggage, and I was like, "It's not your fault. British Airways lost it. They lost flying from because my layover was in London."
Yeah.
And I was like, they lost it. And they're like, no, we're sorry. We're so sorry you don't have clothes. We're so sorry. We're so sorry that you don't have your stuff. And like people, the first place I stayed at, which is right across from Trinity College, they just gave me all sorts. Here's your toothbrush. Here's your razor. Here's your soap.
Totally.
Here's you all this. Here's you everything you need,
We played in Dublin, and then we went down to Kilkenny.
Mm-hmm.
Kilkenny.
Kilkenny's awesome.
Right. And so we went at night. We went. The rest of the crew had already gone. We were with like a bunch of Texans that were playing around all over Ireland. So the concert had already started, and we had a really rough night the night before. Woke up late, went and got lunch. And like, okay, we'll get a train ticket and run down there. And so we got on the train, took a nap on the train, getting down there. And then we arrived, and I'm kind of like half-ass asleep. I'm trying to come to and grab my guitar, and I'm coming off the train. And we stop on this train station, and there's just like, there's nothing. Like, there's nobody. Ghost town. We're just walking through, like, man, what the fuck is it? Because you leave Dublin, it's people everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
When you get down there, there's nothing. And then we find this theater we're playing at, the Kilkenny Theater. And then we walk in, and they're like, oh, yeah, everyone's in the back. Like, it was just one guy, like, oh, yeah, down that way. And I'm like, all right, man, cool. Which way? Just this way? He's like, yeah, go down there, turn to the left, turn to the right, you'll find it in his Irish accent. And we go in there and we realize, holy crap, the whole town's in here. Like, everybody's in this room. And I was like, holy shit, one big ass party. But good Lord, dude, so beautiful and just so amazing. Like, just even like a lot of the Texas crew was all about just doing the whole Texas pub crawl thing. And I was like totally against that. I was the black sheep. Like, nope. I don't want to go down to the tourist section. I want to go see where the real deal is at. Like, and I remember TJ and I got in a cab and we were like, just take us to where the singer-songwriters go, like real musicians, not tourists. And he's like, oh, I got you. And he took us over on the other side of Dublin. And we went into some venue and I was like, dude, this is it. You know what it reminded me of? Remember the Rec Room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine that, but like 1,400 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, when we went into the Rec Room, I was like, dude, we're in our shit. We found it. This is it.
That's the way when my cousin, I didn't get to meet up with him until the last night I was there, and we came back to Dublin, and we spent one night there, and he's like, yeah, let's go out. We'll meet up. We'll go get drinks, and we'll check out real Dublin. He's like, none of that Temple District area. We're not going to be around Temple Bar or anything.
Yeah, that's where we were. We were staying at the Temple Bar Hotel.
And he's like, we're not going to be around any of that. We're going to go see real shit. Yes. And we went and saw, and I was like, dude, this is awesome.
Unreal.
It's just a hole-in-the-wall places. People just throwing pints at you left and right.
Yes.
And just, yeah.
100%. Dude, I got a great story about that, though. So come out of the Temple Bar District, you're down there on the main drag, go over the bridge, and you come down, and there's another hotel that we were staying at. There's a place there called Fibber's Rock and Roll Pub, and then next door is Fibber's Rock and Roll Bar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, well, it's on the backside of our hotel that we were staying at the second time we went down there, which wasn't down in the quarters or whatever, Temple Bar. And so we go in, and it's me and TJ again, and he's got Canoy with him, which is his bus driver. He just came along for the trip. And we go in, and I walked in. At the time, I had hair. I had, wasn't bald. I had my hair slicked back and whatnot. Walk in, and the jacket on. And this guy goes, you must be here for the Viking party, big dude. I was like,
and now I am.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm in.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. And he's like, all right, here's your passes. So he hands us these lanyards and stuff. And he's like, go over here. Here's your tickets. Go over here to the bar. They'll give you your first round of drinks, and then go through this door. And Ivan will escort you down to the to where the party's at. I was like, okay, cool. So we go, get in there, get our drinks. Here's this big, huge, like Russian dude, like huge. And I'm 6'7". This dude's got to be 6'9". He is massive. And he was just like, are you here for the, okay, let me see your passes. And he takes us down through this hallway. We go down this stairwell. We get down there. There's hundreds of people packed in this thing. And we're kind of underdressed. And I'm like, all right, okay, Viking party. Weird. And I was like, I got to use the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom. I come back, go to the bar. TJ runs to the bathroom. Canoy and I are at the bar. I'm getting a shot. Look around. TJ comes running back up. He's like, dude, you know what this is? He's like, looking around. He's like, this is Vikings, like the TV show. This is their rap party. We just crashed this thing. They thought because your big ass walked in here, you're a part of the show because everybody around here is fucking tiny. And he's like, you got us in. And I was like, I started looking around. I was like, oh my God, there's Ragnar Lothbrok. And there's I'm looking around. I'm seeing all the actors.
So it was the actual cast from the show.
They were all there.
It wasn't just themed.
It was a serious private deal like that was not announced. And we totally crashed it. So
was it good?
What did we do? We got drunk and got in every fucking photo we could get in. Like every time there was paparazzi doing photos and taking, we were in the background like, yeah, party and shit.
Texas.
Finally, like 3 hours in, this dude comes up. He goes, "Hey man,
you guys gotta go.
You guys are not part of this at all, are you?" It's like in Kanoy, the old guy goes, "Hell yeah, we are. We were part of the film crew. We were helping them. You know." He was like trying to come up with shit. I was like, "No, we're not." I just was honest with the guys. Like they thought we're the Texas crew. He goes, "Oh man, what part?" I go, "Fort Worth. We're all up." He's like, "Are you guys with the Texas pub crawl that came in?" I was like, "Yeah, we're." They just suck because my big ass and slick back hair that I was part of the Viking crew. So they were like, "Dude, you guys are fine. You're not. Just stay out of the fucking photos." And I was like, "All right." Well, weeks go by. Weeks, like into the next month, go by. And I'm coming up 35 from Fort Worth, and I'm coming back home, and I get a call from TJ. He's like, "Look, I was on the phone, and he had been sending me text messages. He was blowing me up, and I just got off the phone with somebody, and my phone rings, and he's like, "Dude, look at your phone." I was like, "What?" And it's pictures from TMZ, and it's all the cast and crew, and there's us in the background, like, like bombing the pictures. I'm like, no way, dude. No way did we make it into these photos.
That's awesome.
We were in so many
Man,
photos. They had like a
hilarious.
picture book of all the party, and there we were, just everywhere. And he's like, "We made it. We've done it."
That's awesome.
It's like, man, that is a hell of an Ireland story to come up with. The most random thing.
You gonna go back anytime soon?
We want to go back. We wanted to go back this year, and then we had Canada come up. So we're going to Canada in June, and then I think we're going to try for. Well, I know we're going to try for next spring to go back 26.
If you need a photographer to go with you, and Craig can't go.
Oh, Craig, you hear that, man? You're under fire, bro. You're under fire. Craig's been doing good, man. He's been killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to shoot our music video for the new record coming out. So
nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Won't be using the Bolt. We were going to shoot there, but we're not.
You're not?
No. I think what we're trying to find is a home that we can use that's a bit older, but furnished, something we can use for that, and kind of out in the country. So if anybody's out there, we need it. But we're going to haze the shit out of it, and we got 2 actors that are going to come out and be in it and put all that together. That's for the title track of the record, 43.
We'll have to... You put the call out. We'll see.
Yeah, man.
Something happens. There's some good ones out in Weatherford.
Might have to double deuce it, though. Might have to have you both out there, because it's going to be a lot of shooting.
Well, just let me know.
You fly drone?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Definitely have you come out then.
I do.
Yeah, because it's going to take some droning.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, especially for some of the band stuff. We're going to have him on the gimbal and you on the drone. What kind of drone do you have?
God, what is it? Mavic Air 3?
Oh, right on.
Yeah, little one. And I can get a bigger one.
I've got a Phantom 4 Pro.
With that's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine will shoot 4K.
Yeah.
If you need it in 4K, so yeah.
Don't need it in 4K. It can still stay. People still use 1080p constantly.
But it's good for editing.
It is.
4K is great for editing.
It is.
Yep.
Looks nice and clean and pristine.
Smooth
like a baby.
What's the next move on the Jerry Jonestown?
To end the show.
Oh, right on.
And then to
Go home and go to sleep.
go home, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and
go to work
and question our lives. No. Yeah, I don't know. We got a bunch of guests coming in this month and into next month, so
sweet.
A few bands here and there.
Yeah.
That's about it.
You want to come out and do the thing with Paratheory? We've talked about it several times.
Still want to, yeah.
Because I don't think we're going to be going out to do any more investigations.
No, we'll come out, hang out.
But we've talked about doing like just the podcast remotely from somewhere.
Yeah.
Even if we just set it up on like just film it.
We set it up on a train track and see if the train ever comes.
Yeah, well, it'll come
and hits us.
It'll come.
Something.
I don't want to be on the tracks when it happens.
And we'll have the table set up, a card table set up with some chairs, and we'll play chicken to see who jumps back last.
I thought it'd be cool to do the Adolphus, but to pick one of their main rooms and go in there, and then just have us set up, 2 cameras pointing either way, and then just podcast it in the dark and let this guy over here shit himself.
I like
very nice.
I like that hotel. I've done some work in that hotel before, so I like that. A friend of mine got married there.
Yeah. The other option is the one out, not Baker, but the Crazy Water Hotel. It's got a lot of history.
I haven't been in that one in a while. Or at night. I've been in at night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, has it turned all apartments?
Mm-mm.
It is still a hotel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Because I knew they were talking about turning something right there.
They had a bunch of suicides
apartments
that happened at that place.
Yeah.
That were for no apparent reason. Like that. Well, I mean, what is suicide for? But I mean, and nobody left a note behind. There was no real reason, and there were a lot of strangers that weren't from around here. That seemed like the stories go like they were completely fine, and then they went up there and went to bed and walked off out the window or something, or drowned themselves in a bathtub. Or
what if that happens to one of us?
Well, make for a great story.
Great podcast.
Yeah, good.
Thomas,
why are you looking at me?
What if Skip?
Why not Stubbs?
What if Skip hangs himself?
Well, that really wouldn't affect him though, because he doesn't have a spine.
What if
do you have, a snake?
No,
a puppet.
Puppet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a long story.
Okay.
Well, it's been fun.
Yeah.
We are approaching the witching hour.
It is. It's time.
Good to be back in here. Okay, so you got some shows. Check them out on, what's the website?
Deadwoodfan.com.
Deadwoodfan.com.
Yeah, and then Paratheory's just on YouTube under Paratheory.
And everything's up now.
Yeah,
right?
everything, all the episodes are up and all the podcasts is up. We got to figure out a way we can crosscast this thing one night.
We can probably figure it out if we put our brains together. Think about,
Yeah, I think we could do that. We could manage something like that.
I'm looking at this EV Mux. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
We kind of dig it. So
it's all remote too. I mean, you can be in the same room. The thing that I'm interested in is this. Can I run 2 cameras in a room, 4 cameras? You know what I mean? Into it. Like OBS, you can do what? How many can you do with OBS?
I don't know what the limit is.
I don't know what the limit
is. It's a lot.
No.
I think it's like 6. Could be more. But I don't know that EV Mux. I mean, it does give you the option to like recognize other cameras. I just don't have another camera, a Logitech camera to test it.
It says up to 12 on-screen participants. That's what throws me off. Like, what does that mean?
Because you give people like the email to it, or then you invite them in, and then they can. So like, if we were hosting the show,
so we can do it remotely.
We could invite you in from here, and then you would just come in with your audio, etc. And then it pulls up on our side, and we see you, and then we place your screens wherever we want them. You can do all the.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never tested it with 2 cameras to see if like in the same room, because what I do love is that for the screen, the options you get versus OBS of how you can customize your screen is really cool.
It's not building it out in layers like OBS.
It is.
It is.
It is, but it's got more custom factors to it. You can, and then they also got some widgets they put in, like the chat, right? You can throw the chat in there. You can throw how the chat looks. You can adjust the font size. You can.
That's the one thing I don't like about this is because in order for us to throw something up on the screen for other people to see, like if we're looking at a website or we're looking at a picture or something that's on the web, it's a complete pain in the ass to do with OBS.
It plays like a studio, so you have 2 screens, right? So you have one screen that's this, and then you have where you're seeing it, and then you have the other screen that is you're building everything on, so you can just phase into that. If you want to pull something up on the web, you can do a screen share. You can pull that up, plays the audio from it.
Yeah, I want something that's easy to do that. So that's that.
Upload all your own files, all that shit. You can put your music in, photos, build out your show. Have it ready to go.
This may be the way to go. This may be the future.
It works.
Wave of the future.
Yeah. Let's make this podcast more expensive to run.
It's like $40 a month.
It's 40 bucks. The Pro's 40. The other one's 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. The thing I'm getting pissed about is our hosting keeps shooting up because of our bandwidth.
Oh.
And having so many people. You know, the more visitors, the more fans, the more viewers you have,
the more expensive it
the
gets.
more expensive it gets.
Yeah.
That's the only drawback.
We haven't had that issue yet.
Yeah.
No.
It kind of stinks.
But we have been able to bring in guests from like out of state and come on there. Like we had Justin Holstein from Iowa, et cetera. They were able to get in as long as they have decent audio.
Yeah.
We had one gal get on there and she just had the earpiece with the iPhone cord or whatever, the earbuds.
Yeah.
But the AI
cleans it up
for you. Yeah. So I skip out on hours of having to mix the audio in. It just does it really well for you. Yeah. Echo cancellation and noise cancellation and all that stuff is on there. De-esser, high pass rig, it's all there. Low pass.
Sounds like we're gonna have to play with something, Matt.
I'm in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anything to cut editing times down.
It's what I like about too is like when we get done with the show, I immediately like wait a minute, go to YouTube, and then I click on because it's already stopped broadcasting, and I'll stay on there like Craig and I'll just be sitting there shooting the shit while I'm sitting there putting in the metadata. Like I have it ready to go, like episode 25, Pair Theory podcast, blah, blah, blah. Set it to that, and then drop all of our hashtags and everything in there and all that stuff, and it's pretty quick.
Sweet.
Yep.
Well, it's nice having you in.
Thanks,
Glad you
man.
came
Thanks
over.
for having me in.
It's good times.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll have to do it again
I live so far away.
So far. So far away. Next time, I say what we do is we have a show at Long John Silver's on Roof Snow. We bring the
we've
field
come full
recorder out
circle.
there. And
That's how you do it.
Yep.
Just bring out
We
the
have some
portable
fun.
rig.
Yeah.
We can look really creeper and do it in my van.
Have a bag of crispers.
We could just
right out
fake
front.
kidnap someone. It's fake.
You,
Fake.
sir. You.
Yeah.
We're going to kidnap you.
Free candy.
Get in
Free
here.
crispers.
Free crispers. Damn.
Free Christmas.
go.
There's the name of the show.
All right. We're out of here. Night.
Later.
Right, Pence.